You are now tuned in.
That intro reminds me of DJ AM.
Does it?
Yes.
That's good.
Fuck yes. That's awesome.
I was going with Tiesto.
I love EDM. That's my shit. I'm actually changing that whole opening, though. I'm going to do something totally different.
Country music.
Anyway, welcome to the show part 2, since I didn't hit fucking record the first time. So.
It was probably one of your best shows.
Yeah, non-recorded. I know, right?
Oh, here we are again.
Yep. We had to push Kevin's dinner reservation since I fucked it up.
He didn't get the booth, though. He was trying to get the booth. And
we're in a booth. We're in a booth now.
We got the booth.
Yep.
There you go.
We got the blowjob booth in the corner.
Whoa, easy. What kind of restaurant is it? Mexican or is it Asian?
Why does it have to be a racial?
I know who's on the
Is it a
table.
racial deal just because you get a blowjob in a fucking restaurant? You can't go to a white Norwegian restaurant and get a blowjob in the corner?
I'm going with Asian because I think there's a happy ending involved.
Yeah.
Fucking right, there's a happy ending.
You have to get around.
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be Asian or Mexican or Russian or whatever. I mean, you probably go to a Norwegian one, you'll get the same blowjob in the back.
Sex. Okay.
Now you're
now
you're in my country.
Your teeth out.
Oh man,
wow, this is starting to awesome.
He's messing around again.
I think we should go back to the last show.
Can we just oh, it's right. It wasn't recording.
Stop messing around over there.
Kevin, what's up?
Well, here we are. MGA again, I guess.
Yeah, well,
let's definitely.
Why don't you introduce yourselves first, and then we'll jump into MGA.
Kevin Anderson.
Victor Waterhouse.
Victor Waterhouse.
God, I love that last name.
My grandmother's a saint.
And I just go by Swanee.
Swanee.
That's it.
Like Madonna.
Madonna. I'm going to have my own symbol, too. We'll do the Prince thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It'll probably be like 2 nugs in a jar.
Yeah. Wait, 2 what in a jar?
2 nugs in a jar. Poop nugs.
Dude, that is so weird that it was Mother's Day, right, this year, and
I have 2 nugs in a jar.
Well, I have a new beagle, right, and his name is Skipper, right?
Asshole dog, a horrible fucking.
A little bit of a douche, but my mom kept bugging me. Dude, you got to get the dog neutered. You got to get the dog neutered before he's 1 year old. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait till the last minute, Mom, like that. But she's bugging me. So Mother's Day comes around. I go find a mason jar, a couple of cotton balls, a little bit of yellow food coloring for the formaldehyde look, and wrote Skipper's testicles on the jar. And after giving her amazing, flowers and everything else, I gave her wish.
You know what I got my mom for Mother's Day? Nothing. She's dead.
I'm with you.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, we saved money.
Wow. Oh.
We're going a little dark there, but
this is starting to explain everything.
Yeah, that's the genesis of my downfall for sure. We'll get into that later. Let's go. We'll do MGA.
All right, MGA. We started the Southern Orange County, California MGA chapter.
It was actually a gentleman by the name of Nick Dempsey.
Yes, Nick Dempsey. Write that down. Google him. Just throw him under the bus.
Super awkward because Charlie actually met Nick and then got his mom pregnant. So it's really weird.
I'm basically his father.
Yeah.
Wait.
In sorts.
You got Nick's mom pregnant, or he got your mom pregnant?
No, I got
his mom's dead.
I got my mom's dead. Yeah. So I got his mom pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Dead,
one time.
Mom club.
Yep.
So anyway, what happened next?
So it got awkward. He moved in, and I told him, like, it's my house, my fucking rules, blah blah blah. Kind of the same story you had.
Yeah,
you were recording, so the audience has no idea what we're talking about. But yeah. So anyway, life's going great.
MGA.
He decides to start a golf league. He's like, hey, I'm going to start a chapter of the MGA. And we're like, what the fuck is the MGA? We have no clue.
We don't even golf.
And we're still like, and at this point, we're golfing. We'd go with Joe here and go golf. Remember, we get all fucked up. And he's like, we're like, yeah, like by the whole 9, our shirts are off and we're fucking beer bonging and just dumb. He's like, oh my God. He's like, you're just embarrassed to be with
You hate yourself, you love yourself. You hate yourself, you love yourself.
Yeah.
But I feel like Joe's a ringer. Like, he's shown up in the snakeskin cowboy boots, and you're just like, who the fuck is this dude? And then he T-box 1 just cranks like a
Well, he's from
300.
Texas, and 2 things come from Texas. Steers and queers. But hey, I know that might seem offensive to some. I know that might seem like a sensitive thing. I'm a Canadian guy. You know what comes from Canada?
South Park.
Two things. Whores and hockey players. What teams your mom play for? Oh, damn, she's dead.
That's all right. Which one did your mom play for?
They did.
So he was a serious golfer forever. Like he like played on like the high school team and everything. So he'd go out there and he'd just smoke us.
Yeah, he's a fucking ringer. You can tell he's a ringer. You can tell he will fuck you up.
DeChambeau.
So like
okay.
When we
That
get to the
makes
point
sense.
where we're like, yeah, it's fucking hot out here. We're taking our shirts off and just we're total idiots, slicing shit into the freeway. Just
By the way,
We should
see
not
Joe
be
with
on
his
the-
shirt off, dude.
sexy,
Stairs and queers.
sexy.
Stairs and queers.
Here's and queers. So anyway, we get this chapter going, and God, do you remember our first two tournaments? We get into like these nice places in Southern California.
I don't remember any tournaments. I
And
was so
about,
drunk.
20, 30 of us show up and everyone's just hammered.
They're just like, what the
There you are.
fuck?
There's golf carts stuck in the mud, in the water. Like we were 86 out of the first two places after the first tournament. They're like, zero chance you guys are ever allowed to come back.
Kevin, you remember the time we were in Las Vegas with the MGA World Championships of Golf? This would have been circa, 2017, 16, something like this. And people have come up from all over the world, Australia, Panama, all the way from Canada. And
So far.
somebody pissed somebody off, and a neighbor of the golf course, didn't like what was going on, right? And I'm sure that the guys that were interacting with him probably weren't using the kindest words.
The greatest dudes on earth.
And so he's like, well, fuck you guys. Stay right here. He goes inside, comes out with the legend shotgun, dude.
No.
The whole course got shut down. We
There
all
we
had
are,
to drive the
lockdown.
golf courses to the clubhouse immediately. The Las Vegas helicopters are up top.
Gang unit, the
Gang,
whole nine.
the
All
whole
of
thing, dude. And then you got 500 drunk
Wasted, guys.
dudes that just want to golf that got kicked off the golf course. It was the best.
It was awesome. We're
was
like,
the best.
you
So-
can't go outside. We're like, fuck that. We're outside smoking cigarettes. We're like, oh, God, go do this. There's people outside smoking joints and shit. It's like, you can't keep us in here. No one gave a
So-
shit about the lockdown.
That's how Joe got arrested.
That's
is,
how it
yeah,
started.
that's
That was the
okay.
first time. Yep.
Okay.
Let's not get Joe started on guns because he's from Texas. Dude.
Yep.
So let's not get him
But
started.
after
on
we
one.
bailed him out, we got him under our belt. Like, yeah, he's with us forever.
Actually, that was kind of a hairy event because I also remember another incident. And remember, there's people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And so there was a chapter there from Australia. And they were doing the right thing by drinking a shit ton, like
Mhm.
Australians
Yeah.
do. We were all doing what we do, drinking like a shit ton. The problem arose when they forgot how we drive here, which is on the right side of the
Oh,
street.
Okay. Yep.
And so there actually ended up being a head-on collision with golf carts. And
killed 4 guys. Crazy.
No, well, the one guy
No,
was
just
definitely
kidding.
backboarded. He was backboarded off of the golf cart from a head-on golf cart collision at the MJ.
Yeah.
And I'm sure John has worked this out with the attorneys, and they're probably fine and that. But
have you ever seen 2 guys get launched through the front windshield of a golf cart?
it's hilarious.
It is
Only-
funny as shit. I mean,
only-
it's worth everything.
Only on Jackass. That's the only time I've ever seen it. Always wanted to do it though.
It happens more.
You know what
than
the only
would think.
difference is that it was recorded on Jackass, but it happens everywhere. All the time.
Well, no, but that's good though because we were talking before we started recording, and I talked to the guy that runs the Salt Lake chapter, and this next year I'm going to join, but I got the okay from him. Probably should have another sober talk with him first to make sure it's fine, but like part of like mine and Lee and this other guy named Jaden, like part of what we're going to do is start this 7-iron production where we're going to go through record everything.
That's a wonderful idea.
So he gave
Is
me the
it?
he
I
gave
really
me
do think so. Yeah,
no.
I mean, what stays in Vegas happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Totally true, but we need to record
What happens in
on
Salt
the
Lake
golf
goes
course.
on the fucking internet.
no, but this is the actual Salt Lake chapter.
Oh, doing it here.
Yeah, but then
Oh,
also
that's a great
recording
idea.
in Vegas too.
That's a great idea.
And then the other thing we want to do too is do like a 4 corners tournament with the 4 states that touch corners, touch tips.
I don't think that
Yep.
for some reason I don't think that includes California. I don't.
It does
No,
not.
nope.
No, but we also have a golfer here
Or
that's
Texas, for that matter, Joe.
so we have a golfer here that's moving to California that's going to have to join one of those wretched OC.
South OC, come on, baby, we
Nope.
got you.
He's going to Temecula.
Is he?
Yep.
There's no chapter in Temecula.
Yes, there is. It's the IE chapter, right? Inland Empire chapter.
All right, they're all right. They're actually
Isn't it?
fun.
Are they
Pretty
the-
fun. Yeah, they're cool.
Is it like the Mayans, like the motorcycle gang just golfing?
Pretty much like they golf in vests. You know, they're in vests and shit, and like
The
they bring their-
Mongols. I think they're
The
Mongols.
Mongols, yeah. But like badass choppers, like with their fucking golf bag strapped to the back, it looks pretty good. So right to the sissy bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he like with you guys too, since you were part of the OC chapter. Now you're Canadian chapter, right?
No. I'm true OC, bro. Yeah,
okay.
I'm actually more American than I am Canadian because I've been here longer in my life.
But I mean like because you golf MGA in Canada, right?
Negative
no.
Ghost Rider.
No.
Okay. I'm South OC through and through. So Charlie and I and Nick Dempsey and let's not forget about Biz, our spirit animal.
Nick Dempsey and Biz. Google that.
Google Biz.
And Joe.
Joe. You want your real name, Joe? Huh?
Joe was there originally.
We'll throw you in there,
Joe was
Joe.
there originally, but
Joe
then what did he
was
do? He
there.
moved to Texas.
Moved to Texas.
Yep.
Okay,
We don't
so
Golf clubs are bigger.
you guys are like my connection into the California chapters. So
100%.
we will start to set up matches, whether we come out to California,
Fuck yes.
come to Utah,
Oh,
or
I see what you're doing. You're like the
so
match.
much yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. We'll do like a 1v1, like the best golfers of each play each other,
Record everything.
all 18 holes,
Mic'd up.
everything,
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Dude.
And then we'll do like 2v2 scrambles, and then like everything will be recorded. It'll just be a bunch of degenerates fucking golfing. It'll be the greatest thing. Like, even though this is already being done currently with other golf channels, not at the level of the degenerates.
Right. We
that
should
goes on.
embrace
Absolutely.
the
Oh.
silly, right?
Embrace the chromie homies,
Yes.
the Down syndrome deaths, the whole nine.
all of it. All of
We're
it.
going for gold on all of this.
Yeah.
You guys are going to hear a lot of that's what she said.
That's fine.
That's
Yep.
what he told
Oh,
me.
I got it in the hole.
Oh, that's what he told her. Oh. And we will film people being ejected through the front of a golf cart.
So God bless the MGA. What an amazing thing it is, and it just gives.
Should we throw
people-
the prez
people
out
hope.
there? Throw him a name?
No, not yet.
No.
No, because
No.
I got to be able to talk and meet this guy. I heard he's not the nicest in the world.
He's a race car driver.
Is he?
Oh,
Amazing.
awesome,
He's a
dude.
legend.
Awesome, dude.
I love him.
So
I would
it's
date
awesome.
him if he was
I'll just tell him NASCAR is better than whatever it is he fucking races, and we'll go from there.
He won't enjoy
It
that.
should be good. I think it should
He
be
will
good.
enjoy that.
You have to ruffle.
You met him in
feathers.
Vegas, didn't you?
No, not
No?
no. I only met the chapter guy for Salt Lake.
Oh.
Swanee,
we
his,
say
his
his
sense
name?
of humor matches yours entirely.
we say his name?
So
We
there's
throw-
going to be a few conversations.
Can we throw his name out there? Tell people to Google the shit out. Kiki.
Kiki.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the best bud, by the way.
Google that guy. Have you ever seen the KFC?
So
he's
true.
gonna fucking
This
hate
is a true fucking story. This happened in Vegas with the help of Kevin. So we have a friend that is
Oh,
a
shit.
good friend of mine between me and Lee. His name's Colby. Colby likes to throw fucking temper tantrums out on the golf course. So
He's really mad at himself.
I dubbed him. He'll throw clubs the whole nine, but I dubbed him Colby McEnroe. That legitimately is his fucking deal.
Nice.
So we go to Vegas, and I had these plans of like crashing the lower level tournament, like stealing
Born Harry.
Born Harry.
Born Harry. So stealing carts, recording the whole nine. But we got so fucked up the night before that, and I'm not part of the tournament, so I have
Commitment.
nothing. So I'm like, not going. But what I did instead is I did a lot of networking. So I met Kevin and
Both of them.
Hey,
And
I made it to the tournament. Did
You
you make
did.
it, Lee? Lee made it.
Lee made it.
Hey, we drug our ass out of bed and made it.
But Lee comes back. He's like, yeah, good thing you didn't go because this was like really well done and you weren't going to get a golf cart. He's like, everyone had a placard on there. I'm like, I will remove the fucking placard. I don't care. Anyway, didn't end up going to the actual tournament, but had talks with Kiki. So I set this whole thing up because Kiki doesn't want to run Salt Lake anymore. And he wanted to give it to AJ, who's now going to California.
I thought we weren't going to talk about politics.
This is
No.
MJ politics are
That's
different.
good. That's open.
So now Kiki has to run it for another year. So the joke was with Colby was that they were going to let me run it, who I wasn't even part of the league and still not till next year. But I was going to be the new commissioner like day one running this thing. And I told Colby, I said, you will not play in the upgraded one. You will be in the Born Harry forever. I will change your scores. It does not matter what you do. And so he literally thought that this was happening.
He's feeling the power.
So then his whole thing for the entire year was he got a certificate for where he placed so he could play with the Champion League or whatever it's called. 2-day tournament, as you know. He skips the last day.
That happens a lot, actually.
This is his fucking Super Bowl, though.
It happens
And the
a lot.
only reason why he skipped is because his wife flew in at 9:30 in the morning.
Brought sand to the beach. Fucked up
ridiculous.
everything.
So what I told everyone is I said, you need to go to Colby. You need to tell him Kiki's fucking mad. that you missed the last day. He went out of the way to get you into this Champions League. And it's
whoa. What do you mean? You say Kiki pulled some fucking strings to get him in there?
well, no, that was,
no. Shit.
No. This is the story. No, this is the story.
Okay.
So I had a bunch of people contact Colby saying, oh, Kiki's pissed off. And so I did it. I was like, yeah, Kiki's fucking mad. You need to go apologize to him. He's like, I'll take care of it. They have the Champions deal, the dinner, the award ceremony.
Yeah.
This motherfucker walks up to Kiki and apologizes and said, Swanee said that you were upset. And he goes, who's Swanee?
Amazing.
So then
You're going to fit just fine.
So
You're
later,
gonna fit like a glove.
So later in the night, he fucking pulls me aside and he's like, I know you've been like fucking with me the entire time, but you need to lay off a little bit.
Oh, what a baby.
I was like, God damn it.
We love you, though,
Yeah.
dude.
He's like a brother to me. So of course I got to, help pull it off. But anyway, we'd been talking about recording the golf stuff. And he's like, you only want me on the deal so that you can see a Colby McEnroe moment. I'm like, duh.
Exactly.
That's the viral moment that everyone wants to fucking see.
Yep. I just want to see him just melt down and get pissed off on here.
Oh, dude. I went with him all year round, aside from the MGA shit. And 3 of the times he ended up throwing clubs into trees.
With that being said, I can't blame him because this is the first year in a long time where I've like made myself calm down, because I would just get fucking mad at myself and I would just beat the shit on my golf cart and throw clubs. And we had like at our work every other Friday we do a golf tournament. We do 9 holes and we made this big obnoxious looking stupid trophy. It's got golf balls and shit stuck to it. And
we can actually
travels
Jizz.
we can actually
whatever,
drop a couple.
yeah.
We can
Still
actually
blood.
drop a couple trophy
Blood's
pictures
even-
in here if we're gonna do this on video. We'll send them to you.
we could,
Okay.
yeah.
I want to
Send you
see
some
this.
solid trophy pictures.
Yeah, click on the link below, see the trophy. So we do that, and we all go out, and it's always on a Friday and whatnot. And I'd usually ride with a couple of the guys I work with, and you're like good buddies with the guy you work with. It's kind of like your work wife, right? It's like, oh, hey, ride with me, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, no, he wouldn't ride with me anymore. And I'm like, I finally figured out, like, okay, the last time I beat the shit out of the golf cart, you were in it, and it's probably a little disturbing, and I apologize. I'm going to stop doing that. So this year, I golfed calmly, and I'm like, it's still golf. We're just having fun. Stop beating the hell out of shit. I don't have to replace club heads anymore because I keep breaking them off. So, yes, calm golf works better.
Calm golf, no shotguns, no head-on collisions.
So I need to have another talk with Kiki because I got to tell him, you and I got to golf at least once.
Yes. Hell yeah.
But I also have to tell him too, like, if you want to save the chapter, don't put me and Kevin together.
That's true.
Because when me, you, and we'll call him Michael get together, it's like the 3 horsemen of death. We just
So much fun, though.
Oh
this
my
actually
God.
this actually reminds me.
much fun.
This actually reminds me of the last time we golfed in Texas. So Kevin,
shit.
myself, and Joe over here flew down to Joe's new house. Beautiful house. Nice theater, by the way.
double wide up
Fucking idiot.
in West
Double,
Texas.
anyway, nice-
double wide on
yeah.
nice blocks.
Yeah,
Like
too big. Everything's big.
brand new hay bales for skirting. It looked
So
good.
annoying. Anyhow, so we go golfing. We might have had a little bit of fun the night before, that morning, but we're going golfing. We golf 3-4 holes, and Cinderella over here decides that he's not golfing anymore. So but he hung tough. He at least like rode in the golf cart through 9.
Oh, I've done the DNF before.
So we get to the end of 9. I look at Joe. Joe looks at me. We're like, dude, he needs to go, right?
He's
and
man down.
so basically, I don't remember if he was in my golf cart or your golf cart, but one of us basically hooked a hard right. He fell out underneath a big shady tree.
It was beautiful.
Smacked it.
He just climbed up this hill into the shade. We said, we'll be right back.
Took a nice nap.
Played 9, and he had not moved a fucking muscle in 3 hours.
My vagina
2.5
was
hours.
so full of sand. It was just packed way in there.
He
All the way to the fucking
slept
top.
under a tree in Texas, the only time he's ever played golf with
Bro, I could totally see you doing the sloth and just like shimmying up the tree and just like hanging out up. in a canopy.
And that's
type
what
thing.
happens when your fucking buddies roofie you. And like,
Unfortunately, I had high
there
hopes.
wasn't any women around, which just freaks me out.
I had high hopes. I thought we were going to come back to the clubhouse. Charlie's going to have all the waitresses wrangled. You got the shots lined up, ready to go.
Failed.
Nope. Sleeping Beauty under the tree.
Failed miserably. Just my bad.
Power napped it the
Yep.
entire time.
Fucked
But
up the whole
you know
trip.
what though, Swami? That's what makes a good friend.
Swami?
What'd I say?
Swami?
Oh no, sorry. That's how we got here.
Swanee.
Swanee.
All right. So
Swim Swami.
Dude, look, I love my Indian people. Shout out to all the
Exactly.
Indians. Shout out to all the Indians. Love you guys, my bros. Got the bunch of it.
Shank you, come again.
it's in my phone.
Oh.
It's in my phone is Swanee. Maybe
By the way, I just
Swanee.
swore in Punjabi.
I'm like,
I hope that's-
I put this in blacked out, so it's spelled wrong. It could go any direction. That could be way off.
I got you as Kevin MGA.
Nice.
Well, Kevin and Joe were actually some of my first white friends. Growing up in Canada, white people over the years have become a little bit of a minority. And so most of my friends are actually the edgier ones. Those are the ones I liked. And they just also happen to be, Swamis.
So what is going on in Canada? Not to get too political.
Good question. It's very cold.
Yep.
Justin Trudeau up there is banging everything that walks. So I hear. I don't really
Attaboy.
follow
I
much.
Good for him.
I heard male and female.
It could be,
And
Okay.
no age restriction.
Which reminds me of a story
Ooh.
about how
Kind of a gray area.
about how I taught my son how to pee. Right?
Okay.
And he wasn't actually my son. He was my stepson. And so one time, it was a baseball game, and this is not very Canadian of me, right? I mean, kindness is Canadian. We're always polite. We say sorry. Sorry, bud.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no doubt about it, eh? Hey, we can get right in there. Anyhow, I'm living in the United States. I'm raising a son who's 8 years old. I teach him how to pee standing up. And
At 8 years old.
At 8 years old, it was a culture shock for me because I'm wondering where are all the men down here. I thought you guys are all like manly, and
No.
nobody told this kid how to pee in a urinal.
We literally all just sit on the toilet seat and piss.
That's true because you know what we do in Canada? We pee on trees.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywhere you want, dude. As long as you're not shaking your junk in front of somebody, you can pee wherever you want. And
I'm having deja vu because we had this conversation when Dipshit wasn't recording.
well, you know
throw
what
it in
is
Dude.
so I went to this bullshit fucking wedding up in the mountains here of Utah, and I fucking really didn't even like the guy. I just went for because all my other good friends were going. And so I went to this wedding and having a wonderful time, but I did have to take a pee, so I went and found my Canadian tree, minding my own business, not shaking my junk. I'm taking a pee, dude. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but yep, spotlights, dude. Spotlights. And please remove your penis from the tree. And I'm like, oh, bro, hang on.
Wait, your dick was in the
Remove your
tree?
penis from the tree?
I
Is that
wasn't
what
up
you said?
against the tree. They're just like, please
in the
stop.
tree?
Please stop peeing. Well, there was a nod.
So you weren't aiming. You
I
were
was
just
being a little naughty.
You weren't aiming. You were just letting it drizzle. Like you had the head just tucked up
Look,
against it.
we can talk
drizzling
about
down.
medical conditions
Got
later.
stuck on the sap.
We can talk about medical conditions later, but no. In this particular moment, the officer was like, "Here, dude, here's your ticket," and I'm like, "Fuck off, thank you very much. I'll pay the ticket." And I'm like, $1,200. That's fucked up, dude. I'm like, why am I being charged $1,200 for peeing on a tree like I do at my
Yeah, because
home?
the currency, right?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like at least 73 cents on the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he told me it's they follow very strict protocol, and what they do is they just charge $1. I'm sorry, $100 per inch, $100 per inch.
See, hold on though, because I've been told Canadians have little dicks.
Well, that's because it's freezing cold, dude, and we have little dicks in Canada. But
They're
the
not
farther we move
circumcised, so you have all
south,
that
like
extra
have you ever
skin.
seen a Canadian in Mexico? He's got the hugest junk, dude.
Yeah, I know the feeling because like mine tucks all the way up and in. I'm going to say the same thing we said on the previous one. You literally have to do Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it's hide and
Indiana
seek.
Jones,
Hide and seek.
but the treasure is not pretty. It's still small.
And again, we're repeating some stuff, but you can't do the no hand or pee. Like, there's nothing that makes you feel more manly than going to the urinal and doing like one of these superheroes.
Yeah.
Can't do that up north.
I feel
Can't do
like-
that.
I feel
Shriveled
like-
inside.
I feel like though, like if you're inside for whatever reason, pissing in a urinal, that every time like I've seen this happen, I'm like, that's a fucking Canadian. And when I walk in, it's pants all the way down to the ankles.
Yeah, we like to drop
ass
them over.
cheeks out,
Right at the ankle.
the whole nine.
Because it's warm, dude. It's one of the only places we can be free, right? So
Right.
it's freezing balls out cold. I'm not gonna drop trout outside. So yeah, basically as soon as you come indoors, you're just like free, nice. Yep. Of course, the kid that I was raising wasn't in, like, I never dropped full trow if there's like 8-year-olds in the back. That'd be like
just the butt cheeks, right?
Yeah, what? I mean, am I?
But my
butt cheeks or his butt?
You got to make them feel normal. So you just like, yep, I'm doing it. There's like pants around the ankles, public bathroom, just doing it.
But see, I can see you like explaining to your son, like, this is how we do it in Canada.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
And then he does it at school and he then gets in trouble.
Gets arrested and gets charged $1.50.
You're like, one day this will be yours. You will grow one day.
The fines will be bigger.
The best is like when you're actually, like for me, because I love to make fun of myself all the time. But when I talk to women, I do it to the extreme. So
Do they love that?
Do you have a girlfriend right now?
no. This is the reason why. I always tell them I'm a grower, not a shower.
Oh, buddy. There you go.
Because I want them to challenge themselves
To make me hard.
to jump on the ride of Raiders of the Lost Ark, to find the treasure at the end. The best part is when they find it, they're about 80 to 85% committed. So like, fuck it. We'll just do the whole 100.
We're already here.
Close
We're
enough.
already here. We're already here. We wasted too much energy on this. We're already here. Let's just go.
Yes.
Nice. So I want to hear so Kevin here and I, we've had the extraordinary luxury of being able to do these weird little kind of side business deals throughout the years and travel around the world. And so one of the important topics we wanted to bring up today is
What to do when you take your buddy to China?
China. We went to China. So I don't know. You guys just met us right now.
Yeah.
But could you imagine these two idiots in China?
And that's what we were told before we left.
I don't even know how you get fucking arrested.
They
coming
told
off
us we
the
shouldn't
plane.
go.
Oh, yeah.
well, like I remember my business partner at the time. He's like, "All right, listen, you two idiots, don't do 90% of the shit you think you're gonna fucking do.
That's true.
Like,
That's exactly.
like you're gonna go to jail. They'll fucking kill you. They'll chop off your hand.
He was
I don't know,
financing it. He
whatever.
knew he'd have to finance
It's
it
not
to
not
get
that
us
we're
out of
gonna
it.
steal.
But why go on vacation and you can't do 90% of the shit that you're normally used to do?
This was a vacation. This was business.
$20 million worth of yachts.
Business.
Okay.
So
And by the way, may I preface and then you're going to tell the story. So let's just build the picture. So China, I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but not a lot of yachts. Okay, not a lot of private luxuries. And so if you've ever been to the West Coast or God forbid Fort Lauderdale, how many yachts are in that harbor?
Tons.
Do you know how many people are in China? Do you know how many privately registered yachts are in China? At the time, again, this is circa 2010. At the time, there were 500 privately registered yachts
In China.
in the whole entire country of China, which is one of the most largely populated countries in the world. It smells like fucking opportunity to us, right? So yeah, we're like, let us have it.
Smells like something.
It smells like something. Well, actually, we can get to that part in a minute.
that comes with the McDonald's story. We're getting there.
All right. So it smells like opportunity. We're sponsored in a sense by our friend that Charlie's talking about. I mean, yep.
Kevin.
Dude,
Vern.
it's my interview right now.
Vern. Oh, what?
Vern. Oh, whatever happened to Vern? By the way, I heard you guys were talking about that on a previous podcast, and it wasn't Vern; it was Ernest. Hey, Vern.
What was
Hey,
what was that
Vern.
movie? He was the retard.
Yeah.
He was not
Well,
the retard.
easy. He
I
had
don't
a
mean to use
dash.
that
He had a
word.
dash.
I don't mean to use that word.
No, you
You
can
did
use that
dash.
word. That's fine.
You had a dash.
The what? That's not it.
I dash it down.
But Vern,
Remember that? I could picture it. What was the movie?
Ernest gets in trouble. Ernest does this. Ernest does that, and he's like, "Hey, Vern." Anyhow, let's get back to
okay.
China.
China story is way
Let's get
better.
back to China.
Way better.
So we show up in Shanghai, midnight on a Saturday.
Well, all right. Just to set it up a bit. The reason we went to China is because we had a boat dealership going in Newport Beach, right? And fuck's your name?
Victor.
Vern here.
Victor
He'd work for us at shows, and what the Chinese culture does is like the big rich guys over there, if they wanna buy like a nice car or a big yacht or whatever and have a ship back, they don't come over and do the work. They send their guy over.
Yeah.
All right. So they got a little team of guys or whatever, and they're like, okay, go to America and go. All right, I need this car. I want this boat. I want this blah blah blah. Buy it, figure it out, put it in a container, ship the shit back, and then we'll live life. So Vern here met this rich guy's right hand man.
Billionaire. Well, let's call him Mr. Sun. Let's call him Mr. Sun. He owned 11 hotels in Hainan, China.
Yeah,
Daniel's son?
big. Daniel's son.
Very racist of you, but yes.
They weren't even waxed.
that's not true.
They all look same, bro. They all look same.
I didn't say that.
No, they actually appreciate that because I was in South Korea on my way to my honeymoon in Thailand, and all these people were dressed the same. They had the same shoes,
That's what
the
we
same
call a
everything.
hard left turn.
On a side note, true. Like I was watching this clip of this comedian, and he actually brought up a really good point. If China invades Taiwan and U.S. gets involved, how the fuck do we know who we're shooting?
Oh, Joe's over there just fucking creaming his pants and just he's like, let me in.
You guys might.
We're gonna have to give him a mic. Joe needs a mic. He fucking wants it on this one.
You know the video. You know the video, right?
All right, let's go.
All
Let's talk about the 88 bar. Let's talk about the 88 bar. So we get to the hotel.
We haven't got to China yet.
We're in Shanghai.
All right, the reason we went to China, I'll make it real quick, is like, okay, if you sell Vern here, he got this guy on the hook. They're gonna buy a 113-foot yacht through us. It's gonna get shipped to China. Great deal. It's awesome.
Why don't they just drive it back?
Actually, they have to put this big yacht on a bigger boat because they can't make it that far, even though it's 110 feet. They have to put it on a ship anyhow.
Okay. So put it on a big ship called Yacht Path. That plug.
Amen. There you go.
Send the money this way for the plug.
Yeah, boys.
Anyway, to do that, so you make all these promises, to these Chinese guys, and you have to make sure you stand by it. Yeah. So if one of them falls through, they're like, all right, fuck you, we're done. Like, your word means shit. I'm not going to do business with you.
Why don't they just send the triads after you?
Well, we hadn't fucked up yet. Okay. We hadn't fucked up yet, So Vern and I here, we're like, all right, let's see, we go over there for 11 days, and we're like, all right, we're going to find, slips, people for warranty work, maintenance, like whatever you need when you have this yacht running around out there. All the promises we told you we can make happen, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, but that was part one. Remember, we had the 20. So we were going for that reason, but then we also, in addition to had a buyer. He had $20 million and he wanted to buy boats all the way from like $300,000 to $2 million. He wanted to buy like $20 million worth of it. And so we were going over there anyway to facilitate the delivery of the boat. So and then we had
two birds, one stone.
So we find ourselves in Shanghai on a Saturday night.
Okay. Yep. So, Vern and I are, we're giving all these rules. Don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah.
We broke them.
Like, right, we got this. We're professional. We bring our suits. We got our shit down.
I did tie Kevin's tie.
We know how to. Maybe I don't know.
You guys are like,
come see, come saw.
We got this.
Yeah, and when you meet someone over there, you give them a gift. So Vern here, he's got his bag loaded down with gifts.
Wait. We're speeding ahead. This is after we left Shanghai. I want to talk about our Saturday night in Shanghai when we go to the concierge of this beautiful hotel we're in and we say, hey, look, it's Saturday night in Shanghai. We want to experience. So we're in this freaking lobby. We ask the concierge and we're like, hey, man, we just want to go out and enjoy what Shanghai has to offer on a Saturday night. We want to enjoy the culture of Shanghai. And something was lost in translation. And he wrote down something on the back of a card. He says, give it to cab driver. And so we jump in the back of this taxi cab. We start heading to the Bund.
What could go wrong?
Familiar. And so we started heading into the Bund downtown Shanghai. And on that note, by the way, never drive in China, period.
Big green truck,
dude. So we're sitting there in this back of this taxi cab and the light goes green. Charlie and I look at each other and we're like, go, dude. Like, why ain't he going? Thank God he didn't. Garbage truck. Blast the red light. That would be the end of our life if we were driving like normal here.
Big green garbage trucks do whatever the fuck they want.
Zero rules.
All over the whole country. They do whatever the fuck they want.
They have very poor reporting of traffic dust.
And everyone knows it.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Stay out of the way.
So we make our way and I give obviously the card. So he takes us to downtown and he drops us off. He goes, here you go, boys. And we're so excited. We are so excited. We've never been to China before. And there's this bar and it's called 88 Bar. And we're like, cool, everything in Asian is named by numbers, so we're like on track, right? And so
88, watch this, 86.
Well, we walk in and we quickly realize that we've been bamboozled, dude. 88 represents what?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bar. There we are. We're in the NASCAR bar in China.
They Americanized you in
100%.
They dropped us off at the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bar.
Yep.
88 Bar.
Yep. We walk in but there's all our fellow white guys from.
Wait, hold on. Isn't Dale Earnhardt number 3 though?
No, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 88.
Yeah, you're talking about Do It for Dale, like original Dale Jr.
Hashtag do it for Dale.
Do it for
Do
Dale.
it for Dale.
Do it for Dale. So here's our dumbasses, and we walk into the bar, and we're trying to make the best, right? The guy made a mistake, big deal, we'll figure it out. And so we sit down, we're like, fuck it, let's grab a beer in Shanghai at the 88 bar. And there's nobody there, obviously. Yeah. Nobody knows. And so there's nobody there, still empty. And there's one dude next to us, and he's a white dude. And so, of course, we're like, hey, white dude. And he's like, yeah, nice.
Why
are
you here?
And where was he from?
He
Knoxville,
he was
Tennessee.
there for work, and like, I don't know, elevators or some shit. And he's like, oh, I'm from Huntington Beach. I'm like, come on, whatever. No, I don't believe you.
Can't make that up.
He pulls out his fucking driver's license. He lives a block away from us in Huntington Beach.
Swear to God.
And I'm like, we flew 10,000 miles to come drink beer with our fucking neighbor? Like, what are the odds of
Well,
this?
he says it's your lucky day because my wife just so happens to be out of town. That's why I'm sitting here by myself. I got you boys. What do you guys want to do? We're like,
downhill from there.
Hookers and
all
blood.
the things we're not supposed to do, we went and did.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
It was
fact that
great.
you got out of the country after that's
Oh, so wait,
Barely.
we didn't even talk about the
Barely.
meeting. I'm sorry, we didn't even talk about the meeting. So the meeting was super interesting because, again, doing business in China is very different, and they have a lot of languages. We didn't
Many
know.
dialects.
We didn't know. We had our
Many.
fixer from L.A., Chinatown, L.A., right? Peter.
Yep.
And I could barely understand what he says, okay? And so I think, this dude's got us. He's our translator. We don't need a translator. He speaks Chinese. We get there, and Peter's like, you guys need 2 translators. I'm like, 2 translators for what? He's like, well, Cantonese and Mandarin. I'm like, well, which one do you speak?
Can we make this
He's like, no,
more
I don't.
complicated?
I'm like, you don't speak. So this meeting that would have taken like 45 minutes ended up
34 hours.
34 freaking hours going through Mandarin.
34 hours?
No, it took like 8.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, we exaggerate our stories.
So we bolted out of there. Our next stop was Shenzhen. So we're flying out of Shenzhen to Shanghai to Shenzhen, and where we have created a contact, Billy Baycroft. Shout out, bro. I hope you fucking hear this one day. If you're still alive.
You are the man, Billy.
Billy, you're the man.
Still crushing it.
Former Canadian Navy guy.
The reason we brought whiskey with.
Yeah. Okay.
It had the bomb threat issue.
Yeah.
So in the back room of the
why we were followed
Chinese
and
airport.
It gets so much better. So
it's a fucked up country.
So we want to do we wanted to do the right thing.
It's crazy over there.
We want to do the right thing. We want to honor Billy with the most Canadian thing. And so I grabbed a bottle of Crown Royal from here and I brought it the whole way the whole fucking way. And it was fine going there. But as soon as we were flying from Shanghai to Shenzhen to meet Billy, we're walking through the airport.
Oh, you got bomb? You got bomb?
No. They go, we hear, like the only English words we heard were, will Kevin Anderson and Victor Waterhouse please come to the security place immediately, whatever. And we're like, oh,
not what we wanted to hear.
You guys are like, what did you keister?
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. Wait, what happened last night? What did you bring with?
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is we go, and again, very, hard to understand what they're trying to, why we're being, checked out. And, but it turns out they get to the bottle of Crown Royal, which is in my suitcase. And all we figured was they like, not bomb? And we're like, no, whiskey. They're like, okay, here you go.
You whiskey bomb.
You whiskey bomb.
Yeah.
So we land in Shenzhen that day, and we do meet Billy Baycroft again. Fucking legend, you.
And he sends this beautiful Chinese girl.
Her name is
Sunshine. She picks us up, brings us there, drives us around.
Top-notch hospitality.
Top-notch. Yeah, epic.
And
Good
he
job,
knows,
Billy.
too, we've been stuck in Shanghai, so there's no way we're getting any American food. So he takes us to the best Irish pub.
Yep.
In Shanghai.
Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. And for your listeners, Shenzhen, so Shanghai is like way up north, like it was like a 3-hour flight to get to Shenzhen. But from Shenzhen, you're only like a 1.5 hour boat ride by ferry to Hong Kong.
Okay.
So you're almost home. Like Hong Kong for me is like America, dude. It's amazing. Everybody speaks English. It's
like
awesome.
LA.
Just have a great time.
Yeah.
But so we end up there. And so we know that Sunshine is going to take us to Billy and then drop us off that evening at the last ferry. Well, it was originally like a 5 o'clock ferry, but we're having such a nice time drinking Black and Tans with Billy Baycroft. We're like, shit, put us on the last one. And he's like, all right, you boys got to go. Otherwise, that's it. So we end up down at the ferry terminal in Shenzhen, China. And we're just like having a good time, right? We're just kind of regrouping. We got our laptops open. And remember, this is like 2009, so it's like hefty laptop. And we're just looking at the pictures, having a good time, right? These dudes come by, and by the way, it's packed terminal. We're on the last boat to Hong Kong.
We're still pretty drunk, so we're having a good time.
Where are we now? These dudes come by and they're nondescript, but they're all wearing a uniform without any logos. And they're like, hey guys, like, hey, your ship's this way. And we're like, oh, cool. You're like part of the
VIP class
detail. So we like dumbasses followed them. And then they put us on this ship. The ship is designed for like 600, 700, 800 people to go back and forth between mainland China.
2 of you.
Huge ferry. One other white guy.
Brown guy, actually. He's an Indian guy.
Was he Indian?
He was an Indian guy, dude. He was an Indian guy that claimed he
backpack?
was from Texas.
And he was really from Huntington Beach.
No, I truly to this day believe he was trying to trick us. Well, I'll explain that in a minute. So he was friending us up. He's like, oh yeah, cool. And we get on this ship. He's the only guy, and then there's like 5 or 6 other Chinese people reading like that newspaper upside down, like this, like kind of spying.
Yeah.
They also key point separated us from our luggage, right? So I had my my bag. I think he has backpacks. So we keep those, but like our luggage,
The big luggage, it's in the back, in the very back of the ferry. Yep.
And at this point, we think we're kings.
Yeah. And we walk in. So we walk down on the starboard side of it for you non-boaters.
Starboard's the right for
right side of the ship.
Is it left in Canada?
No, it's still starboard.
Port
And
starboard,
in
port
fact,
starboard.
you know that most of the Earth is water, so it's mostly the same most of Earth.
Well, I just
Anyway.
figured like the Australia deal,
Oh well,
private, you know.
Oh, it's because the toilet goes the other way.
that's when you drop. That's when you drop below the equator.
That would
Yes.
fuck me up if that.
Which Australia is, yes.
Like,
So-
why is this going at counterclockwise? What the fuck is going on?
So we get on there. Right side is where we leave all of our luggage. Everyone throws their luggage there, right? And we make our way up, and we sit down, and like shit, it's just us. It's like we're VIP, like we're first class. We're up in the front in the nice seats.
We sell yachts, bitch.
We sell yachts.
That's what we're feeling right
let
now.
us roll through.
That's what we're feeling right now.
And there's one other guy in there, and we're bullshitting with him, and like I think he showed.
What'd he show us? What'd he show us? He opened his bag.
He had a backpack, and he opened his backpack. It's full of cash, and he's like, "Well,
Renminbi, Chinese currency.
yep." And he's taking it to the island to put it in the bank so that the Chinese government doesn't track it. All this shit going,
And so it's
we're
not weird
talking,
yet
and
because we're thinking, oh, cool, another VIP. What a lucky guy.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
as important as us.
Yeah.
baller like we are.
Here's where it goes sideways.
That's great. And he's like, "Hey, everything's good as long as this thing doesn't pull away from the dock with just us on it. If that happens, well, then they
We got
think
problems.
we're up to some shady shit, So that would be bad."
So you're accomplice to a crime.
He didn't more than say that. They untied that fucker and took off.
No
So
more
now this
people.
huge
No more
ferry
people.
is
Just the
taking
6 of us, or
huge
the
ferry.
3 of us, and the
3 of us on that sumbitch, and now it's doing this trip. All right.
and I'm peeing my pants now, dude. Like we're still drinking beer. Don't get me wrong.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They had a bar. Like we're not like
Right.
But yeah, so we're kind of watching out the window and thinking to ourselves, like, this is exactly what he said. If it happens, we should be worried about. And so the whole time, it's only an hour and a half or so from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. But the whole time, like, I'm trying to navigate on my phone, make sure that we're not going to like some pirate island or something to be,
Which is
extorted
being monitored.
to be extorted for all my millions of
whatever you
dollars
do on your
worth of
phone,
yachts.
they're keeping an eye on it.
I don't know if
as
you
well.
guys know this, but Pirate Islands now is where you get raped.
Oh, wow.
So it's a raping.
You can't rape the willing. Where's
Let's
this
not
place
talk
at?
about my retirement just
Do you,
yet.
do you have a
Like-
destination for this?
Macau.
Exactly, dude. So anyhow, so
I gotta go.
So by the grace of God, we pull up to the dock in Hong Kong, and the 3 of us walk out. Just Kevin, myself, and the dude that we just met that showed us probably $250,000 worth of
No
Chinese
Interpol waiting for you.
But
So
our,
we
but
get
our
our
luggage,
bags.
our luggage moved.
Our luggage.
We walk into this big room where our luggage was at, and like how I mentioned before, it was on the starboard side,
Now it's
right
on port
side.
side.
All of our luggage is on the other side now. Like, that's weird. They fucking went through all of it.
And the
They
guy-
tore our shit apart.
And the guy who I still believe was kind of like the equivalent to like a spy trying to extort the information of why we were in their country.
Right.
He was friending us up like, oh, I'd love to hang out with you later. Here's a place, to go in Hong Kong, give me a ring. We'll hook up later.
He's like, let's go to Dale Hart Jr.'s place.
Dude.
There's
And,
a lot of shady shit. Like, you just don't know. Like, why would.
Well,
why
remember going through customs, what he did he go through customs?
No.
What'd he do?
You need to be a little skirt around.
He went around the side for
Really?
the peace sign.
Why the fuck he could go around the side?
He went around the side,
know?
did not show anything, walked around the outside of the metal detectors, all the customs agents, showed us the fucking peace signs. I was like, that was fucking awesome. So we tried to call him. Never answered our calls.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it was so weird.
That's a setup, dude. That is like a James Bond
Gotta be.
full-on fucking setup.
But what are two fucking drunken white guys like? Do they think like, oh, these guys are danger?
But we
I mean,
might
like-
have been.
Like, imagine the money they spent to send that ship empty, or that
Yeah, just
big
to figure
ferry
us
empty.
out.
All the fuel
And they got
spent,
nothing.
and
Because there was
They
nothing.
get nothing. Like, I would look through their bags. There's a bunch of stupid fucking redneck clothes and a bottle of whiskey.
You know who your mole? In this whole story, do you know who the mole was? Sunshine.
Oh,
She honeypotted.
You watch way too many James
But you-
Bond.
oh,
She fucking honeypotted.
Honey
you
pot.
guys.
yeah,
She honeypotted you.
But she's so pretty.
She was.
Oh, nailed
She
it.
did.
That's the whole point.
Oh, she nailed it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fucking worth it.
You
So
guys
that was
got
amazing.
honeypotted.
That was amazing.
Oh.
So
And
did you end
then,
up selling the yachts?
we did do. Yeah.
Did you?
The big one did end up going over there years later. Actually,
It wasn't years later. It was like the next. I mean, it took a
year
few
later.
months to do
a year
it. Yeah.
later.
But it changed their fucking law. After that happened,
That's true.
because of Vern here, the new Chinese law, yachts imported into China, if they are not made and assembled, like, a Chinese
China.
manufacturer,
Reverse engineered.
they can only be, 1 year old.
Yeah. So they stopped.
Yeah.
They outlawed selling used boats to China after we did that. And in fact, when we sold that boat, it was sold for $3.5 million. And Mr. Sun had to pay $3.5 million worth of tax, 100% tax.
I had no problem.
Import
doing
it.
No, why?
What's a commission on a $3.5 million boat? Like, be real.
It was all of our brokerage stuff was 10%.
Well, so it's kind of
But you guys
it's a little diluted. Okay, so it was 300. I think it was around 300K, right? But
you guys
here's the thing.
split it because it was a team.
Well, not just split it,
Well-
is like, remember my original translator from South LA that introduced me to Mr.
Yeah.
Sun? He got a piece. His guy got a piece. It was
Everyone
a
gets a
daisy
piece.
chain of delight all
What
the way
did you-
down.
What did you guys walk away with pre-tax? Like 100 each?
No, so as a
I got
company,
I got a bigger share.
as a company, we kept like 100.
That's because you're
It
12.
was like 99 or 100.
You got a
and
bigger
then-
share because you're 12 inches long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
unless I'm up north.
We pay by the inches in case any good salesmen want to come work for us.
So that was a wonderful time. But that was the end of our business trip. And from then we heard a rumor, dude. We heard a rumor that there is a fucking Las Vegas.
In China.
Macau.
Yep.
Macau.
So we had to go sniff it out.
Off we went. Oh man, and it's
I heard it's like
you land. The airstrip is this like it's the width of the island. So you land, and then the plane turns around, comes back. It's like a T shape, and comes in to the airport, and that's where like our hotel's right there. So
Really?
we'd sit in our hotel, and he set this up, so he booked us in like a badass suite. So we have this awesome 2
We
bedroom
were enjoying
suite.
success.
Big, you could sit there and watch every plane land and take off from the airport from like our suite. It's like 30, 40 floors up, and it was epic. And there's like MGM Grand. It's like being in Vegas.
better than the Vegas one.
Better than the
Yeah.
bigger and better is kind of, subjective, right?
Yeah.
So definitely bigger, definitely more money flowing through.
Okay.
In
Oh.
fact, that's what destroyed the New Jersey gambling industry was that all those major casino companies realized there's more opportunity there, so they dumped Atlantic City and hit Macau.
Depending on who you talk to, it was Donald Trump.
Hey, well, Joe's here, so he's from Texas, by the way. Did I mention that? Anyway, but Charlie was this dude. We met him there, and he kind of showed us around, right? Well, little
Cool
did
dude.
we know,
Fucking cool guy.
Kevin became a celebrity. And
I
what I
can
mean
see
by
that.
that is he's got, these Norwegian blue eyes. At the time, he even had hair on his head.
So handsome.
And he was so handsome. And
Still handsome.
Do you guys remember Herbalife?
Yeah.
The MLM kind of. Yeah. So we ran into like two of these folks, and they just like got a kick out of Charlie, and they're like, "Can we get a picture with you? Can we get a picture with you?" I'm like, "Dude, we'll oblige, right?"
It escalated quickly.
Dude, I have a picture of little Charlie and 80 Herbalife t-shirts around him like he's
No.
running Herbalife, dude. I think he
No.
told me about it.
On the steps,
On the steps.
coming out of like was it the
One of the
Caesars,
casinos, yeah.
Caesar's
Yes.
Palace or whatever. So it's on this, and they're like, they're all looking up at me, because they're all shorter.
Yeah.
So it's like there's me in the middle, and like it was great. Like really, like
They loved
80 of
you.
them.
They loved you.
It's like
They loved you.
It was great. It was so fucked up.
I
It was
look
so
basically
great.
the same, but I brown eyes. It was the blue eyes that hit it.
Oh, for sure.
Nailed it.
Eyes that hit it.
Yep.
I have a bunch of Peruvian guys that work for me, and they're like, "You need to go to Colombia." I was like, "Why?" I know the cocaine's good there. He's like, "No.
You'll stand out.
They love white guys."
That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, "They just want citizenship." He's like, "No. They fall in love with white guys." And I
They
was
just want the dick. That's it.
I'm like,
In and
"Okay,
out.
cool. If I'm not married at 48, I'm going to Colombia."
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like this is
We
going to
should-
happen, right? Can we all go?
Yeah.
We're all going. All right.
We should all go out there and maybe check it out.
The next
Make sure it's safe.
part 2 will be from Colombia then.
Yeah. We'll take the show on the road.
Where would we go? Will we go to Cartagena?
So, what are you doing next weekend?
We'll go to Bogota, the
Mm,
capital.
right in
Yo,
the middle. Bogota. He said it like
Bogota.
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 Ah,
I probably said it wrong, and it's probably not even a real place, but
Yeah,
I think it's a casino.
Sounds
in
good. Sounds good
Palm
for us.
Springs.
Yeah,
Isn't it? Bogota?
right. Bogota. I don't know.
So you live in Canada currently.
No, I'm Southern Californian all the way. I moved out of Toronto, Canada in 1998. Have been living in
Okay.
Southern California for that.
And Joe's Texas.
Yeah, but he's also Californian though, by heart. You can tell from his boots.
We were
What kind of
all
boots are those, by the way?
we were all in Huntington
Are
Beach.
those gator?
I
Eh, gator,
Ostrich?
gator, fish.
fish.
Fish boots.
Killed that fucker on the way here.
Hmm.
Slapped some boots together.
Made some boots
Good
in
to
the
go.
Uber.
Made some boots.
I never seen a
Nailed
fish
it.
that looks like that.
No,
Yeah,
Sounding a little fishy.
all three of us were in Huntington Beach back in the glory days.
This is where we did.
And then
really bond.
these losers got married, had a bunch of kids, and kind of like, we're boring.
Well,
now.
one of mine is
I'm
Charlie's.
like, all right, I'm gonna go hang out with the Mormons. I'm gonna have more fun.
I'm pretty sure my youngest daughter is
Here I
actually
am.
Charlie's.
Yeah.
She's such an
so
asshole.
you escaped out of California.
I mean,
Why?
Kevin.
The company I was working for was based out of here in Salt Lake City,
Okay.
and I was here like 1 week a month. So it was just finally the point. They're just like, just fucking move here. Why not? And I
Right.
got here, and it was like, oh god,
But
I
hang on.
bought a
on.
big house for what I was renting a bedroom for in Huntington Beach. Because we had.
So you enjoy Utah.
I love it here. It's great. Like from being from northern Minnesota, it's like the hunting and the fishing, the wildlife.
His dick got bigger.
Yeah, well, the elevation's higher, so my dick looks bigger, which is great. It's a bonus. I'm not gonna lie. And then it's just like there's so much to offer here.
Show me
It's
how you
great.
did that trick then, because I'm born and raised here, and no.
Oh, is that the donut trick and the 2 cups of coffee?
Well, there
and
is.
donuts?
Yeah, that is a very
Is that the-
that is a very popular guy at the nudist beach. The guy that can carry 12 donuts and 2 coffees. Is that where you're going with that?
Yes.
It could be bagels. if you're
Yes, exactly. I do. That's where I was going. Yes.
Kevin, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah.
He is though. Hang on, because I don't think you started at the beginning. So this isn't the
couple-
first time you
couple
lived here
donuts
in
is good.
Utah. This isn't the first time you lived.
No,
in
I
Utah.
know.
What were you
I-
doing
I-
the first time?
I moved here after college. I lived here for like almost 2 years, and my roommate, who was like in the same industry, he was working for a company that they opened up a branch in Newport Beach, California.
So you were selling Herbalife then?
No, just the
Close.
wine. It was the wine. Was it
Mona V?
Vimy or where the fuck that was?
I think it's actually-
No, is it Mona V?
Mona V.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. That one never worked out.
We had a buddy who actually was working for that shit. He'd bring it over. We're like,
Scott
yeah.
Dad?
We'd mix it up
Scott
with
Dad?
no.
Oh.
Really? We'd mix it up with vodka and drink it. We're like, oh god, we're getting wasted, and we're like, superpowers. Like, life's great.
It's Mormon wine.
Yeah.
It's non-alcoholic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's why
Charlie's
we're
number.
putting vodka in it.
Kevin's number one boat guy.
But yeah, my roommate was out there, and they wanted him to stay, and he's like, well, like try to get my roommate to come out. So his boss like flew me out for the weekend to go hang out, and they spoiled us. I'm like, it was in November, right?
Right.
So I left here in the cold, get out there. Oh, we're eating crab legs, and there's chicks with big fake tits and like tan walking on the beach.
Did you have to pay rent initially?
Oh no,
Where'd you
no
live?
rent. We lived on a fucking used trade-in yacht. And, like life was great. So I went to go visit him for the weekend. Never came home for like 4 years. Quit my job over the phone. I'm like, fuck it. Nope.
No.
I found it. This is great. And it was awesome. And then, as time progressed, I ended up started working with my roommate at that company.
Mhm.
And then one of our competitors tried to buy our boss out. And he's like, well, I drug these boys out here from Utah. They got nothing out here. He's like, if I'm going to sell everything, I want to give them, the first option. He's like, I'll give you 2 months to match the offer. And he goes like, you guys can have it. And at that point, we had enough customers that just loved us.
Right.
With like hundreds of millions. It's crazy. Like the Newport money out there is stupid.
Oh, and yeah.
They would buy a yacht from us for, say $1 million. And like say they're over at the island and they're like, hey, my generator's not working. Something's wrong. So we'd run over there in a little trade in and fix the boat. And they'd sit there and drink beer with them all night. And they're like, oh God, you guys are the greatest.
They're like, our yacht's down and we're at the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Exactly. Yes.
That's a thing, actually.
I'm
That
sure
only
it
became
is.
a thing after the movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah.
really?
Catalina wine mixer. So we had those guys just love you. I'm like, you're more important to them than their wife because you keep everything going.
Yeah.
The yacht's always running.
You keep the party going.
Everything. The party is always going. If the wife's there, you cater to them. If the mistress comes over, you cater to them. If the kids are there, they're like, you are their fucking God. And
Right.
It's a really fun place to be.
Oh, I bet.
Especially in that crazy, super multi.
Tell them about the
money.
tie-ups. How are the tie? So it's now, I think it's called Floatcella. So like Coachella,
Yeah.
but Floatcella. And so you end up with their, 15, 20, 30 of, these yacht owners that decide this is the day we all tie together in the middle of the harbor. You have the Real Housewives of Orange County falling off, getting drunk and falling off the boat. It's unreal. It's not real life.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be
Right.
seen
And it just draws the attention of like the beautiful of the most fucking beautiful. I mean, it's unreal, just
Also, the
like
not so
plastic
beautiful
girls, fake
Oh,
tits. Oh,
Wait. Also, the not so beautiful, because can we tell them about can we Wu-Tang Clan? Can we
Oh,
talk
that's it. That's Lee's deal.
Yeah, no,
Lee.
yeah.
All right. So we had the honor one year of and I don't remember how this came together, but they wanted to shoot like a video, which ended up being kind of anyhow. This is late Wu-Tang, right? This is late Wu.
It's still out there. They're on our yacht.
But
Video.
Wu-Tang, Lee, right? It's like Wu-Tang's like 50 people, right? And so we only ended up with 3 or 4. I think Ghostface was there. I think some of the key individuals. And so we put them on the boats, and of course they're doing their thing. And
Right.
Actually, they threw me fucking under the bus. Pardon me. So we were at one of the more popular places in Newport Beach.
This is after the video. So we all went out. They did the video. They bring
Yeah,
all
they
the
did the
bitches and all this. I mean, they got a bunch of ladies. All this, how they run. Ran out, took them out, and did a big loop out in the ocean, and they filmed it all, and that was part of their music video. And they come back, and they're like, well, they want to go party all night. And right across, all the slips we rented for our dealership, right across the water from us, you
Shout out to Woody's.
Woody's Wharf, G.
What's up, G? What's up, G? We're coming to get you, bud.
You could throw a golf ball over there, it's right across. So we load big yachts up, pull them out, turn them around, back them in, 100 feet away from where we started. And now we're at this big badass bar. And you could
With the Wu-Tang Clan.
with the Wu-Tang Clan. And I'm like, at the point, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't a Wu-Tang Clan fan, so this is all going down. And I'm like, I'm out, Aaron, have fun. Like, fuck this. I'm going home. So he jumps on with them and goes over and they pull in, and they treat you like fucking kings. You back your boat in or your big yacht, whatever it is, tie up. Girls, hot waitresses come down like, oh, can we get you drinks? You want food? They'll walk you up to the dance floor, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
And that's what happened with them. And
One thing about the Wu-Tang that I learned is they smoke a lot of pot. All right. So they love their weed. Right. And shout out to Snoop Dogg. Hey, it's about time you grew up, dude. Good thing no smoke. And we'll fact check this later.
Quitter.
We'll fact check this later, but I'm pretty sure. But on this particular occasion, I think it was Ghostface, and I'm standing next to him, and they're it's like a typical pot smoking circle, right? The difference is we're on like the patio of a bar, right?
Okay.
And so we're definitely at this time it's again 12, 15 years, I don't remember, 12 years ago probably, and so the laws had not caught up, but Wu-Tang doesn't give a fuck. So they're sitting there smoking a fatty, right? Token white boys in the circle. The owner of the bar, who we know, he comes out and he's like, who's fucking smoking pot out there? Ghostface hands me the doobie. And then who gets kicked out? This guy.
You do.
So now I get left with the Wu-Tang Clan as their like fixer. But then I get kicked out because Ghostface handed me the fucking doobie at the wrong time, right as the owner saw it. And he's like, I know, but you can't do that in here. And I look at Ghost and I'm like, he's like,
You mean Victor?
no, I mean Ghostface Killer.
No, but you,
Oh,
yeah,
the Ghost.
Victor.
Yeah. Oh, what did I
Victor.
say?
I don't know, some A guy.
I just was running some errands. I was running some errands for these guys.
A man.
I was running some
Yeah.
errands for these guys. And so, I got landed with that. And so, but now I feel bad because, the hosts, Charlie's gone, he quit. it was only me, but I got busted for smoking in the bar. So I'm like, all right, fine. We'll remain nameless.
He calls me. He's like, I got kicked out. I'm not with him. I'm like, I don't care. I want nothing to do with those idiots. I don't give a shit.
And I'm going back in. So I go next door through the condos, flip over onto the dock, show back up on the yacht. Ghostface is like, what up, bro? I knew you got this handled, right? It was amazing, dude. So yeah, that was one of the best stories of my life, getting kicked out of a bar because Ghostface handed me a joke.
Yes. So that's how. So when
Are we telling the story right now?
Yeah, go for it.
yeah. Well, so whether it was like if you're sending like overseas or there used to be a loophole until Schwarzenegger closed it. But if you bought a boat or a yacht in California and you moved said boat out of the country, which you had to get down to Mexico for 90 days,
No tax.
no, you didn't have to pay sales tax.
So he closed the loophole on that.
He closed it. Yep. But before he did that, we rode the wave on that. So all of our
Like
customers
that, dude.
loved
Very good.
it.
We rode the wave.
Loved it. So all of our customers, they would buy, even like boats from like, 200-300 grand all the way up to a couple million. They were like, all right, we're going to do the Mexico deal. And they actually, with that being said, down in Ensenada, they made a badass 5-star resort with a bunch of slips. They call it the 90-Day Yacht Club.
Basically,
That's all it
to
was.
receive these.
All of our customers
So-
were like, absolutely, we'll do it.
How many miles off of the coast is considered international waters?
7, I think.
That's it?
Yeah.
I think it's 7. You can
I think
gamble.
it's 7.
I don't think I've ever ran 7 miles in my life, but that makes a lot of sense.
Dude, you make your own laws after 7.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
You are the master of
So
the
we could
universe.
definitely do a pirate boat.
We can do pirate boat. We
Yep.
can do pirate boat.
And if 7's wrong, we apologize. Golden Cock is probably
He would be the guy to ask.
he'd be like,
shoot.
you
Can
yes.
we talk about Golden Cock?
Yeah,
I love, by the way. So Golden Cock.
We'll come back to
Hold
Golden
on.
Cock.
Let's do the Ensenada and then we'll
Come
jump
on,
to
oh
Golden
my
Cock.
gosh. Please.
I will remind you.
So all of our customers were like, absolutely, yes. I want to say the sales tax because that, like, the more they
Oh, yeah.
spend, the better it was.
Sure.
Like, okay, yeah. And like, it was awesome. Like the place down there, the hotel, it was called Hotel Corral, and it's still
4
there.
star. But they only
Awesome.
have 4 stars in Mexico.
Awesome place. And like, they totally catered to us. We're like, hey, we got, 3 different boats coming down. We bring all the customers down. And I'm not sure who's listening, but typically, the husband of the family who bought the boat, they were like, yes, I'll come down and do it. And it was great. So we'd run it down. They're saving so much money, tie it up in the slip, check them in this nice room. And then we take them to Ensenada and, bring them to like the strip club. And which, if you've ever been to a strip club in Mexico, it's
Hold on.
Not the donkey show, right?
Hold on. Because
no, not donkey
Okay.
show. No. Beautiful women.
Okay.
I don't want to speed too far ahead because we did get stranded exactly where he's talking about for a moment of time. But what I want to talk about is remember when we left Newport Beach? So from Newport Beach to Ensenada, it's about a 6-hour trip by yacht, right? You're cruising at typically
30 knots.
20, 30 knots, depending on, yeah. Yep.
And so on this particular day, picture this beautiful, sunny, sunshiny California day.
And this was your Chinese guys again. This was with Peter, wasn't it? This was with Peter.
Really?
Yep. They had the 2 big brokerage yachts. We had that great big, the 68 Sunseeker and the 62 Asmund.
Sunseeker Manhattan.
Yes.
So thank you for reminding me. So it's our job to deliver this. It's like $5 million in 2 boats, basically, right? A Sunseeker Manhattan 62, an Azimuth 60, and these are like brand new boats, right? Or pretty relatively new. Charlie's in one. I'm on another one with who we'll call Golden Cock. Okay, so he's a great captain, someone that we love. And so he's the captain of my the ship that I'm on. Charlie's the captain of the Azimuth, right? And
Okay.
so we're in communication. Charlie's a little bit behind us. We invite our producer here, Joe, along. Now, Joe's never at this point left the country of the United States of America. Okay,
You have to
Not
take
one
your
time.
passports?
Yep, most
Okay.
definitely.
Yep.
Joe actually I think he had to get a passport. I don't even know sure he had one. Anyhow, so
Yeah.
he comes along, and so because Jerry is much more, let's just say, seaworthy, of course he's in charge of the ship, but I claim first mate. I invite Joe, who then becomes second mate. I'm pretty sure, right? I think we only had three mates, right, mate?
There's 3 of you on there.
So
Yeah.
who becomes G'day, mate?
That's the Aussie guy who.
Good day, mate.
So we
This
leave
ain't a
Newport,
knife.
We leave
This
Newport.
is a knife.
This is a knife.
We leave Newport Beach, and under these current sea conditions, it would not be advisable. Like, there's no way you're going to go out for a pleasure cruise under these conditions. They were 10-foot seas.
You guys were pulling a Leo DiCaprio from Wolf of Wall
100%.
Street, trying to get back to his money.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Is that this is
Feels
the way?
good, yes,
this is
pretty
the way I
much.
envisioned this.
I
Yes.
think you
Okay.
should paint that.
And
picture.
it got worse and worse as we went. And we were a little past San Diego.
So Point Loma.
Yep.
It's 10-foot seas, and we radio to Kevin's boat, and we say, "Hey, dude, we got a little bit of an issue here because on those bigger boats, they typically have a tender or a boat attached to the back, a small boat, so you can get to shore."
Right.
And so we had one of those on our boat, but we noticed as we were kind of heading just around Point Loma in these 10-foot waves, the waves had caused this thing to come a little bit loose. So Jerry radios Charlie, says, "Hey, we're going to hook it in to the San Diego Bay to get out of these waves because we've got to tie down the tender before we continue." So Jerry's the captain on our ship, and he's in control. And he says, "Hey, dude, I'm going to aim this thing at..." So we come around back behind Point Loma. Charlie, I think he's waiting over there, kind of watching all this shit go down. Kevin, pardon me. Well,
Jerry's
I like nicknames for people, so like,
You're good.
I apologize. I like
Kevin could go by Charlie. It's fine.
Well, I think that's a ridiculous name, Charlie. So, I mean, pick another nickname. Anyway.
I think Waterhouse is
So
fucking
we
ridiculous.
tuck it in behind Point Loma, and Jerry says, "All right, dude." He's up top on what we call the fly bridge of Sunseeker Manhattan. And he's got cameras and stuff so he can see, but it's mostly audio, right? So he's like, "Okay, dude, I'm going to put it in the waves. When I say go, we'll ask the second mate to scamper down onto the swim platform and try and tighten up those tie downs."
Okay.
That's the plan. So it all happens. We put the ship directly into the waves. He goes, "Okay, go." I go, "Matt, go." And Joe's like, "Who the fuck is Matt?" I'm like, "Dude, no, I mean, move the mat so you don't slip." And so Joe scampers down there, doesn't trip over the mat. and right as he hits the swim deck, captain yells, "Get back up, get back up. No, no, no." Well, he's committed, dude. And I don't know if you guys seen Joe.
Away.
I don't know if you guys seen Joe off camera here, but like once you get that body moving, it ain't coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of, And so he had one choice, and that was to just grab on, dude. And so he legit, and God bless him, dude. He wrapped his muscular arm around the tie down. Right as we say, "Come back up," he's like, grabs it.
His West Texas bicep.
Completely gets submerged, right? Completely submerged in whitewash and water. And I'm thinking, fuck, I got to keep an eye on this guy as he floats away because we're going to have to come get him. Dude, he's still there. He's still there. Mans it up, fastens it down, strolls up into the boat. Dude, we were scared for our lives. Now, the good news about traveling on a Sunseeker Manhattan, they have indoor washer dryer, dude. So he hucked his shit in the washer dryer, was a new man. So this got a little bit gnarlier, right? So we're good. Now we continue. Charlie's leading.
So Joe over there, he's running around the boat naked, all his clothes are in the dryer. And so now all of us are together. And once you leave San Diego, you don't have to go too far south. You leave American waters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you're in Mexican waters. But as we're approaching that border, the weather's getting worse and worse. We notice a Coast Guard chopper.
That's right. Yeah. Strafing
Just hovering us sideways, just tracking us. And they hit us on the radio and they're like, "Captain, do you realize, where you're going? Like, what's your destination? Blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "We're good." They're like, "Where are you going?" We're like, "Ensenada. We got it."
Bring a boat.
And like, waves are increasing, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is like, do you know what's coming? And we're like, "Yes, we understand. We have to get to Ensenada," because we had to get down there in a time frame in order to make those yachts get to the same time that the big, huge container ship comes in. So we get was Yacht Path. And then what they do is like, these big container ships, they're filled with like cargo and whatever. The whole top deck is open. So Yacht Path leases that part, and they'll hoist these big, like 100-foot yachts up on top and set them, they'll weld in, these big, like plates, holders, and it sits there and it rides over.
How big did the waves get?
They were getting big.
Like 18 to 20 feet?
Probably. So I had with me on my side, the California Yacht Broker Association.
That's right.
President was riding with me.
Shout
It was
out
like
to
all
that.
the deals were all through him. And I'm sure he's retired by now.
Well, I
I
hope
can't remember his
so.
name.
We probably
But he was
retired
riding with me. And so he's sitting next to me at the helm.
We probably retired him.
Well, no, pull it closer. There you go.
And after, so like we told Coast Guard, like, hey, we got it. You know, we're only going to Ensenada. You know, they're bigger ships. We're good. Like, we're
Right.
good. And they're like, all right. Like, basically, you're on your own. You guys fuck this up. We're not going to help you. They're like, we got it. No problem. You're like, we're a couple hours out. We got this. And those swells were getting so big. So you'd ride up the top of the swell, like wide open throttle.
And then
You go
slam
over
down.
it and you'd skim down the backside of it.
Damn.
And
Dude, you're doing 10 knots up,
10
30 knots
up.
down
Yeah. So you're gaining so much speed going
on a massive boat. Like,
big,
Oh,
huge
yeah.
yacht. And we'd hit the bottom and like the anchor, the whole front of the boat would just submerge into the ocean and like all the water would come over. So you kind of like submarine for a
Yeah.
second.
So and then pop back up.
Yep.
dude, it was eerie. Like, so the azimuth you were driving from indoors, right? Because it didn't have a flybridge,
Yep,
right? So
yep.
so he's indoors, which is actually more challenging because your view is, you know, a little bit more
Right.
tricky. On the Sunseeker that Joe and I were on, it has a flybridge, right? So Joe and I are sitting on the flybridge, and these boats, they have multiple helms, so you can drive from below or drive from above. And Golden Cock was driving from below. We were pretending we were driving from above, right? We're having a good old time. But here's the thing. So we're sitting, I would say, like, what's a Sunseeker flybridge would be like? Probably like 20 feet off of the water line, off the water, right?
Yeah,
like
at least.
20
Yeah.
feet off the water line. And these waves, like, they weren't like scary. They were nice rolling. There was not a lot of white caps. It wasn't wind
So
or
they
bad
weren't
weather.
crashing.
No, but it was just these massive seas. And so when we were in the bottom of the trough, dude, and we're sitting on the flybridge of this massive boat, we're looking up at water on both sides.
Yeah, all you see, it's like skyscrapers are chasing you.
It was
Like,
awesome.
oh fuck!
It was
And-
so awesome.
And like so as we're doing this, we're getting closer and closer, and it's getting worse and worse. And like how he was saying, like on the backside of the swell, we're skimming down, gaining speed.
You're surfing in a fucking
Very-
yacht.
Yes, and I look
Two
over.
yachts.
I look over at the California Yacht Brokers Association president.
He's
okay?
green.
This guy would be like, he's done it all. You think?
No.
I look over, his face is just fucking white, and he's just white knuckling everything. And I got a beer in one hand, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is great. Like, you know, 'cause, like, the closer you
7
get to
miles out,
Mexico,
you're allowed to drink and drive, by the way.
you can do whatever you want,
Yeah, okay.
right? And I'm like, we're going to Mexico. Like, life's great. You know, like rules are out the window. As long as we get this thing into the slip, life's great. So we're just having a blast. The Chinese guys, they're in the head puking. They're seasick. I mean, it was fucking
What's
total
Joe,
chaos.
What's Joe doing after his clothes had dried up? He's feeling a little bit better about getting almost washed off the boat, and we're pulling into the marina. What was he? I don't even remember what
He's out there on the front of the boat,
kind of like the Titanic.
pulling into like the Titanic. I don't even know if he had his clothes on.
I
Right?
think he was still free balling.
Still free balling. He's like, "Fuck the federales!" Right? When that's
His first time leaving the United States
First
of
time
America,
in.
and that's his introduction.
First time in. We're like, all right,
He's going hard in the paint.
we're committed now. Here
In the
we go.
taint.
Here we go.
See, I was going to ask you who was your Lieutenant Dan, but now I know that.
That
fucking
was
answer
Joe
for sure.
Yep. That was Joe.
Just him fucking muscling the shit out of that. He's like, "Fuck you, God, you motherfucker!" The
Fuck
waves
the federales.
So through the extraordinary skill, of Captain
Nemo.
Kevin
Captain Nemo.
and Captain Golden Cock,
Kevin
and
and Golden
we're
Cock.
gonna get to how we got, you know, why we
You'll love the
forever
Golden
call-
Cock, where it came
forever
from.
call him
Yeah.
that, but he is one of the best captains, and only because he teaches you how to be good at sea by showing you what not to do.
Yes.
Anyhow,
And you don't want to be naked in the same room with that guy.
oh
God, he just makes you look bad.
yeah, real bad.
Even soaking wet. Freezing.
Soaking wet, cold as shit, don't matter. Cold, hot,
Was he Dirk Diggler back in the day?
fuck yeah.
Yes, dude,
Yeah.
he's a ledge. He's
Golden Cock. Like he
is a legend.
We got stories about the strip club,
Oh man.
and it's not
What? Not,
dude.
It was a restaurant.
A
It, the restaurant just so happened to like to, anyhow. So we get stranded there in a sense, and here's what I mean by that. So, by the extraordinary skill of Golden Cock and Captain Kevin, we make it there safely. Right. Welcome the federales as we're entering. Pass over our passports, and we quickly find out that the what's the name of the big boat?
Yacht Path.
Is
Yeah.
late, and it's not going to be there for 4 or 5 days, and so we have to stay with the boat, dude. So you remember that 4-star resort that Charlie's talking about is designed just for this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We unfortunately were stuck there.
So you could not leave the boat.
No. We can leave the boat. We just couldn't go home.
We just
had
didn't
to
want to go to California.
Okay.
So now
we
we're
like to follow through.
we're in Ensenada, a town full of bars and strip clubs and
Nothing to
hookers
do.
and just
Nothing
bunch
to
of
do.
good time and nothing to do but time.
Donkey shows and chiclets.
And so it's like a Wednesday around 1 p.m. We
And
enter this beautiful, what I think is a Mexican restaurant. I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion, but we go into this Mexican restaurant. It had these really nice like brass poles everywhere. I didn't understand exactly what those were for.
Floor to ceiling poles. Beautiful.
Super weird.
Just straight poles.
Delicious
It was
food.
crazy.
Just
So
delicious.
basically, you can get a carne asada burrito and a lap dance.
Okay, so it was
If you want.
it was a very quiet weekday. Okay, and so let's just talk about what you might imagine the talent to look like on a very quiet weekday at 12:30 p.m.
Yeah, you're rolling out your B and C team.
Yeah, so they're having a nice. I mean, they're kind of having a nice time, but we're not. And so one of our friends, again, we're not. I mean, his original name doesn't matter because he's forever going to live at School and Cock. He looks at the three of us and he goes, "This place kind of sucks. They don't know what they're doing. I got this."
Oh,
And away he went, dude.
he's like the fat dude from.
You remember how we were
Blues.
talking about how you pee proper?
Yep.
You drop trowel all the way to the bottom?
Yep.
Well, his kept going, and he knows how to work a pole, dude. And in addition to that,
You made that loop on that pole and didn't use the hands.
he was holding on the pole with some other member of his body, and I don't remember which one it
Shut the
was,
fuck up.
but he had the most huge natural southern, right? Not cold, very warm and beautiful man junk. And we were like, dude, that is a golden cock.
And that's why he's a captain.
Yep. And believe it or not, that got the whole place kind of riled up. All the girls came out.
They
on
started
stage.
tipping him.
Everything started
They
working good.
started tipping him.
He was basically there to work because like Ensenada works off of like as the cruise ships come in.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So as soon as they hit port, like, oh, everything's up like, oh, free tequila, free lap dance, blah, blah, blah. You know, they just go crazy.
Yeah, and then they leave and everyone goes home.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you happen to get there in between, it's not a bad place.
It's all yours.
You know, it's like, hey, the town's yours. You know, good times.
So we were stuck
Great.
there for 4 days.
And
I
it
don't
sucked.
remember any of it.
Oh, it was so horrible. Like, oh, we just managed to work our way through it. And
So my question is what happened to the boat company you guys were working at?
Very good question.
so COVID rolled in, right? I don't want to go into that. But as that, no, fuck no.
It wasn't COVID.
No, it wasn't COVID. It was the 08,
Mortgage crisis.
08 mortgage deal, right?
Mhm.
And
And nobody had any more money to.
yeah, and like our vendors, okay, like whatever lines we carried, you know, their guys would come out and like, okay, all right, it's a new year. You guys ordered so many million last year worth of inventory. You
Right.
know, you think you could do this, blah blah blah. And they're like, it's gonna be a bad year, you know. And like the smart guys knew, you know.
Mhm.
By the way, at this
And-
point, Kevin is 1/3 owner of this multi-million-dollar yacht company that has been thriving.
Yeah, we'd bought our boss out this time,
Okay.
and like I remember standing there in front
God
of
rest
all
his
these
soul, by the
guys,
way. God rest his soul.
and I told him, I'm like, guys, this is Newport Beach, California. Like our customers are worth hundreds of millions. Yeah, housing market's gonna take a shit, but we're not in Kentucky. You know,
Right.
we're not in the Midwest. We're not, you know, it's not, you know, North Dakota, wherever. You know,
You're not in
Wait, no,
Sandusky,
yeah.
Ohio.
You know, like this is like these guys are so set. You know, and I sold them on that. I truly believed it. I'm like, it's not gonna get that bad here. There's no way.
Oh, it
You know?
got bad.
And it did. And like we would sell boats to our customers. We'd run their credit, you know, and they'd like whatever they would put in there, you know, for their accounts. And like they're like, okay, they got 123 million in set account. That's what they showed us. God knows whatever else they have, you know,
Mhm.
like they're set, they're good. And then after all that had started, you know, like the guys with the smaller boats, the ones who are like refinancing their houses for an extra, you know, 300 grand to
The
buy
first thing
buy
to
a
go
boat.
is a boat.
Those went,
Yeah.
right? But the bigger guys with the bigger yachts, I'm like, they're not going to do it. And I remember talking to them, and they're like, listen, Kevin, I have,
Third
You know,
person.
right?
Nice. I loved
They're like,
it.
I got 4 kids in Ivy League school. My wife shops for a living. I have 4 houses, and I got a jet, and all kinds of shit.
And that's just my pillow guy.
Yeah. And like, we really don't give a shit. Like, I'm going to let the payments go on the boat. And if it gets repoed, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't need credit. Like, I'm fucking loaded. And we're so busy right now. We don't use the boat anyway. So like, whatever. It is what it is. So all this shit started going through repos. The bright side of it was we tended to use one of the same banks all the time for all of our customers. So once all this started happening, they got a hold of me and they're like, all right, we have to repo these boats. We understand, like, you can get into them. You sold them. You know where they're at. You could actually access those and bring them back. And I'm like, are you saying like I get a get out of jail free card to go steal shit?
I had no idea this occurred.
And the bank's like, basically, yes. Like, our lawyer will give you a sheet of paper that, like, you may get arrested if that happens.
Wait
like,
a second. Hang on. Sorry for interrupting. Do you mean you and your three partners? Like, we're talking as one, or Charlie's a turn? Charlie would be like, that's what, like, one of those guys is like wishy-washy. I call those guys Charlie. So Kevin's a turncoat. Are you a turncoat, or everybody was involved?
Well, it was our company. So
everybody's involved. That's good. See, this is why I love you, bro.
Cruisers West
I love you, bro.
would have this.
See,
but they put my name on it.
You should have started a fucking TV show repoing these boats.
We'll get to that.
Did that happen?
We started to. So this is before, like, the whole reality bullshit was really blowing up as big as it was.
Yeah.
But you remember Gretchen?
We did.
Remember Gretchen from the original OC?
Housewives of Orange County. We did an episode with them.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to buy a boat, so they filmed the whole thing. Blah blah. Like, anyway, like, before we get to that, the bank's like, all right.
Fuck me if I'm wrong, but is your name Gretchen?
Right. The bank's like, okay, we're to the point where, like, we have to repo these. Like, would you do that for us? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, could you get access to any boats? I'm like, yeah, I have keys to get in anything. I can break into any boat. I can hot wire, whatever.
Right.
Everything we sold.
He's a mechanical mastermind when it comes to marine.
And they're like, all right, would you? I'm like, do you have my back? And they're like, yes. Like, if you get arrested or whatever, blah, blah, like, you know, so they gave me the sheet from the bank with the lawyer. And it's like, all right, basically get out of jail free card.
Right.
Like, if you do get arrested, show them this, call this number, you know, like, we'll bail you out, blah, blah. I'm like, awesome. Okay. Like, with that being said, it's not a one person job. Like, can I bring my roommate with? And like, absolutely, just put his name down. So I go home, and that's with Bob.
No way.
I'm like, Bob,
again,
right,
God rest Bob's soul.
we're going to get up at 5 tomorrow morning, put on all the black shit you have. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, we're going to break into a marina. We're going to climb over the fence, and we're going to steal a yacht. He's like, what the fuck? Why? No. Gee, what? And I'm like, it's okay. I got this piece of paper. He's like, what's that? I'm like, it's a get out of jail free card.
He was on board.
We're getting paid to repo. He's
He
like,
was on board immediately.
he's like, so you're good. Like, we get arrested, like, this, we're covered. I'm like,
By the way,
yes.
can we just mention Bob
He's like,
for a minute? Can we
fuck
mention
yes.
Bob for a minute? This was like Charlie sped through the roommates, dude. Like, you know, single guy, Huntington Beach, you know, he's got a nice house and he chooses his roommates. But Bob, dude, he was one of the kindest men
Bob always came back. Yeah.
ever met in my whole entire life. And
he would live with me till he like,
I don't want to bring your guys' moms up,
Love
but
women.
he died in a motorcycle accident. And so, you know, I think we should just, you know,
So
honor him.
Kevin wants to do pretty much a breaking and entering with Bob.
100%.
And Bob's like, I don't want to do a B&E.
But I'm like, we get out jail free. He's like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So we get up in the morning. We're
So
dressed
this is
in black.
basically reducing your debt by doing this, right? So like what you're on the hook for by accepting this mission, you're reducing the debt.
No,
that is
because
owed?
you weren't on the hook for anything.
No.
Because you're getting the boats back.
This is just fun. And we're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to charge the bank hourly for me and my roommate to go, because I knew where all the boats were, right? Because we go do maintenance on them, blah, blah. So we'd show up, we'd go there like 4 or 5 in the morning, climb over the fence. We're in all black, sneak up to the boat. We climb in there. I get down in the engine room, and I would get like one engine fired up. I had enough keys, I could get in any fucking boat we had, right? So I get one engine going, and I get up there. We'd open it up enough, untie it, and like I'd push off the dock, and I got like, all right, Bob, all right, just steer it straight. I'm gonna get back in the engine room, try to get the other engine running. Once we get that going, we're good. And we just slowly sneak off and do that. So, and like, we get both engines going. I climb up. I'm like, fuck, we're good to go. And they're like, all right, now we're drinking beer and driving it back to our slip.
Golden cock.
Yeah.
We're on our way. So
And then it got even better. So once we get it back to our slips, I would charge the bank that storage. Like, all right, we'll bring this boat, we'll put it in our slip, we'll store it for you, and then you tell us what's the bottom number you need. Like, how much is the customer paid off on this loan, and whatever was left. Like, all right, we need this number. Like, all right, we'll sell it for that 10% commission, broker's fee, plus we're charging you for that, for storage.
And they were all about it.
And they're like, absolutely.
Yeah, because it comes off their sheet, or it refinances and they make money off the interest.
Yeah. And they're like, we have no other choice. Like, yeah. So there was like almost a year worth there where life was great. Like, I'm getting paid to steal shit. Like, I fucking landed.
How many boats did you think you stole in that time period?
Probably
Legally stole.
12, 15. And it was a lot.
What would that mean in terms of dollars? 20, 30 million?
Like, usually the guys that went that far into repo were like the lower level ones, like between like 2 and 500,000. The guys who had million plus, typically there's like they were like well enough that they paid cash to begin with.
Didn't even matter.
Or there's like, I don't care. And there was a few weird scenarios where they're like, well, yeah, with the wife and kids and blah blah. And like, I don't give a shit. I don't need credit. They just let it go. Like, we don't use the boat, so like, fuck it. I'd rather fuck on my credit. I don't care.
Did anyone ever come after you took their boat?
No, I not really.
Were they understanding?
I mean, yeah, they knew it was coming.
They tried, but they weren't very good swimmers, so they couldn't keep up.
Well, I'm talking like full on fist fighting.
No, like and that's why I'd do it early in the morning, because like the sad thing was, like, these customers, like, I'd known them really good, especially like when they would buy this boat, then I'd spend like a week with them, like teaching them how to like, put it in the slip, tie it up. And then I like teach your wife, teach your kids, all the shit. So you get to know them really well. They're like really good friends to you, So it really fucking sucked having to do this to people that really well, and majority of them knew it was coming. Cause like once we'd show up, sneak in there, like the flat screen TVs were all removed. They stole the radios.
Oh, so they gutted everything.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? So hang on. I'm sorry, because, it sounds like it's so easy to steal, right? It's so easy to steal shit. But I remember, I don't remember what I was in, but you invited me down for lunch one day at Toledo Island, and you're like, come on down. I'm working on a boat. Come on down. And so I drive down. These idiots like lifted, big lifted trucks and that. And so I see Charlie's truck, his windows are all down, the truck's running. I'm like, all right, cool. He must be right here.
Made my dick 2 inches longer.
and so I park like a normal fucking individual and head down to the dock. And I'm like, hey, dude, how's it going? He's like, good. Just trying to get this engine fired up. And just as soon as he said that, engine fires up. He's like, dude, get on. So I jump on the boat. And we start going, right? And he's like, dude, so this engine's working. I've got to take this boat up north. And so I don't know if I can get this engine started again. So we should just take it right now. And I'm like, dude, I just walked past your $70,000 truck running with his tools, showing in the back seat. So this cocky asshole who's stealing everything
left his own fucking truck.
His own truck. And swear to God, bro, how many hours were we gone?
It was a lot.
It was like 6 or 7 hours because after we got there and delivered the boat, we're like, well, we can't go home fast. We had to bar hop all the way home. So we got home at 8 o'clock at night. His fucking truck is sitting in illegal parking.
Still running.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Diesel. It was our slips. Like, who's going to steal a truck that's running?
It was in the freaking Lido Island. It was in front of Nobu today. Google that shit. Nobu, Newport Beach, is Park Ram.
There must be some badass with a little dick close to this truck right now. I'm not going to take it. It's lifted, looks good.
Right. It sounds threatening, dude. I wouldn't steal that dude's truck. He's going to kick my ass.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Little did I know it was Kevin.
It worked.
Did you cut him in on any of the profit on that one?
No, see, we didn't become partners. I was actually a salesperson for him because I was selling advertising, and they became one of my customers. This has probably been about 2008 or 9. They became one of my customers, and I really liked Golden Cock and Charlie, who eventually became partners. And I remember I was hanging out there one day.
Kevin.
What did I say?
Kevin.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, Kevin. We're just gonna take care of that. So anyhow, they said to me one day, they're like, dude, seems like, you got, by the way, I'm going to date this. You got a pretty good Rolodex.
Damn.
What the fuck is a Rolodex? Anyhow, they're like, you got a pretty good Rolodex, dude. if you just got licensed as a sales guy, you could make a little bit of commission by providing, a little bit of referral business, whatever.
Like a double dip.
Yeah. Now, Kevin's been doing this business for how long at that point? At least basically his whole life. But what I hadn't learned is he is he's the mechanic. He's the fucking specialist, bro. He can fix anything, obviously hot wire shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, he had not yet been licensed as a salesperson. And so Kevin and I took our California yacht salesperson license together.
Down in San Diego.
So was this prior to you actually selling, or were you selling without the license?
He was always selling.
I could sell new stuff, our product,
Okay.
but if you sell
It just wasn't legal.
Selling brokerage, no, the new stuff was fine. But if you're selling brokerage,
that's
you
true.
have
That
to
is
have
true
you have to have
True statement.
you have to have a California brokerage license.
True
Oh, so
statement.
yeah, you needed
that.
your
Used
your
stuff.
Series 7 and all that.
No,
it wasn't that. It's just there's this.
It's exactly the same as the California real estate exam.
So it's-
Replace
okay.
home with boat.
So it's red tape bullshit.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we go to San Diego and we're in the basement of some big skyscraper down there that the state owns.
With our Scantron and our number 2 pencils.
Yep. And it's like here we are. We're doing Iowa basics again.
SAT.
The Iowa basics test? Remember?
I don't do
With it? Do you? Oh, well, obviously you can do that.
Canadian.
Do they do that in Canada? Like the
No, we just basically
Manitoba basics?
No, we just basically
It's the Quebec School of Law.
Yep. Like
Or
so
sorry,
anyhow,
Quebec,
we do we
Quebec,
pass
sorry.
the test or do we not pass the test? I forget this part.
of course we fucking passed.
When you say we, like
Well, I
both
passed.
of us
Maybe you
the
didn't.
first time?
Yeah. Really? What's that look? He's giving me that fucking look. Are you saying that one of us
You don't
didn't?
remember if you.
I remember who passed and who didn't the first time.
Are you saying I didn't pass?
The first time. It's okay, dude. Everybody gets a driver's license eventually.
I don't recall.
Bottom line
I
is
don't recall this situation.
Kevin has already been excelling as a fucking salesperson, dude. He already knows it inside and out and everything. It's just he went C on the Scantron. I told you not to do that.
It's like fucking bingo, right? First one done. Bingo! Fucking nailed it, right?
You do the Christmas tree.
Yeah. Crushed it. Long story longer, we got through, got the test, blah, blah, blah. And then now we're able to sell used shit, which is nice because typically when people would buy like new boats or new yachts from us, they had some sort of trade in,
Okay.
So we'd had that. No, we could easily sell that as a trade in.
Right.
But if you want to like broadcast it across the whole world as a brokerage boat, then you
need
have to
the
have your
license.
license. Yes.
Yeah. Enter Golden Cock. Actually, a broker's license you have to have above the salesperson license.
Yep. So yeah, that's where Golden Cock comes in.
So did the company go out of business?
Oh yeah, that was the original question, by the way. Can we just answer that one?
Yeah. So as it got worse and worse and worse, like each year they're like, okay, like our vendors are like, all right,
Gone,
say like,
gone.
well, no, they're there, but they're like, okay, you ordered $8 million worth of boats from us last year. What are you gonna do this year? And we're like, well, we got one holdover from last year. The whole market is saturated with repos.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would we order new shit?
Right.
Like there's not gonna zero, nothing. And they're like, well, big rich guys next to you, they're still floating. They're willing to take it on, and like we have to keep our shit floating. So if you can't do it, we have to move on.
Right.
So we lost, all of our dealerships, through our vendors, and we kept like downsizing, smaller offices, only doing, and we made it till like almost 2012. And it was just
Mom's basement.
pretty much. We're basically working on Mom's basement, and it's just more money would go out just to try to stay floating. So we're like, all right, we finally just like fuck it, close the
Which is
doors.
actually a good thing because at that time, I mean, we were testing our limits in terms of like what's allowed. Speaking specifically to like things like piracy and that. I mean, we don't understand the laws. And I remember this one moment. It was a similar one that we were talking about earlier, where we pulled the boat up to Woody's with the Wu-Tang. And it was around 2:00 a.m. when the bars ended up. And one of the things is like all those promo girls. Remember those girls used to sell cigarettes in the bar and that, like the Budweiser girls and that. Well, they just been working all night, so they still need to have some fun. So they definitely want to come on the boat, right? And they have friends. And so what ended up happening one night is and you weren't there, so you're kind of off the hook. But Golden Cock was the captain that night. And we had just taken like, I don't know, like 8 dudes and 20 girls out for like, you know, a midnight ride, you know, out of the ocean for a few hours. So we're cruising back in around 4:30 in the morning, dude. Red and blue lights coming straight from the harbor.
National Guard.
Well, yeah. And we're like, what are we even doing? And by the way, they employ a lot, and God bless my LGBTQT, whatever that is. But like lesbians love Coast Guarding. These were the strongest women I've ever met in my whole entire life when we got pulled over. All right. So I was afraid they were going to kick my ass. Anyhow, so we're like, what's up? Like, we're cool. You're allowed to boat. Like, what's going on here? And they're like, well, we've had a report of missing persons, and we believe that they're on your vessel. And so I was actually riding up top at this time, so I have no clue what's going on the party down below. I'm sitting next to the captain. While we get pulled over, they separate us. The captain goes on one of these lesbian boats. I go on the other one, and they're like, okay, you guys sit put. We're gonna do an investigation. And so they open the door, and both Golden Cock and I look at each other like, oh God, we don't know what's behind that door, dude. Like, we don't know, you know? And so they're like, hey, is so-and-so and so-and-so down there? If you are, please come out. There's like 20 people down there. And so these 2 girls, these promo girls, that had been reported missing by their manager.
Oh my! On the same night?
That night, well, it was 2:00 in the morning, and I guess they're supposed to report in, whatever. And the manager's like, they're gone. And so the manager reported them MIA. Maybe saw them leave with us. I don't remember.
Our hookers have not reported back safely.
Holy smokes! So
Sex trafficking.
So it's all up to them, and these wonderful women were like, "Hey, are you girls safe? Are you guys okay?" And they're like, "We are having the best time of our life, right?" And then, thank goodness, right? So they let us go because the girls were there on their own free will. But had one of those 20 people down below pissed one of them off, we would have been charged with felony kidnapping.
So the Coast Guard's like,
That's
"Are
what they
you
told us.
okay?" Blink twice.
Right?
Pretty much. But we did end up forming a 6 softball team after that.
Oh my God!
We did.
What? We're killers.
The Golden Cock.
Name is Balls Deep.
Oh,
Yeah?
no, that wasn't my team, dude.
Oh, yeah, your team sucked.
What was it? I can't remember. What was the
My
name?
team. Balls Deep was my team.
What was the name of our team? I can't remember.
We can't remember because he's never won anything. But Balls Deep team, we kept winning. We were sponsored from all the local bars in Huntington Beach.
Kevin's repo service.
Yeah, we repo. We go balls deep, like whatever you want. We're like,
So we were
one-stop
the
shop.
master batters.
There it is.
We master batted all over the place. And then one time we played,
That's good.
Sit on My Base. So you know what we did? We master batted all over their base. I know. It sounds bad, but that's what happened.
It's a bunch of little boys jerking off on the softball team.
It was
on the
co-ed,
field.
dude. It was co-ed. It was co-ed.
Yeah, that it was co-ed, which was good. That was fun.
You're like, Julie, start the snail trail.
Right?
Just sit on my base.
Follow this. It was good.
It was a wonderful time. Actually,
Huntington Beach girls, you
Yeah.
listening? You remember. Oh, you remember all of it.
They're all moms now.
they are truly
Yeah,
moms.
now they're
Teachers,
all
a lot of teachers. A lot of teachers.
Well, now you're Cougars. Cougars and teachers.
I'm into Pumas now.
Pumas? Is that above the Cougar?
Keep going.
Oh, I thought it was Silver Fox.
Older.
Grammys.
Yeah, Silver Foxes.
Into Grammys.
Yeah. Well, we need a sexier name though. Like a Silver Fox. Like the Cougar's a good name. You need like a
I have a question.
like a really mature panther.
Let's talk about branding. So I've not noticed this, but like people here in Utah, they love their trucks, right? They love fucking horsepower. They love, everything, but they're not that smart with naming stuff. And maybe it's not just from Utah. Maybe it's just where I'm seeing it. But what's the name of your exhaust?
MBRP.
Burp. Yeah, right. Like they couldn't come up with anything better.
Burp.
And then what's the name of your side by side? What's the name of that? What's that called?
Can-Am.
No, it has also anyhow, they just name things after sounds here. And so that's awesome. That's a competitive advantage for us because we have wit. And anyhow.
There may be in a plug or two, but if that works, send the checks my way.
I don't see why Can-Am wouldn't sponsor us. It's a great Canadian company.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Bombardier.
There, yeah.
There we go. There's another one.
There's a Canadian plug. Same company.
We're going to go back to the MGA because I heard through the grapevine there was a tournament at a Trump golf course?
All right, so I got this one. So it was actually at the time it was pre MGA. So we're talking probably let me think of a year. This is right around probably around 2009, 2010, maybe 2011.
How old is the MGA? Just curious.
I would say I would put 5 years before we started, right? Probably. So like 20
This
20
year
20 plus.
this year was 12th or 13th year
No, that's impossible.
of the world. Yes, of the world.
Of-
There was a 1 year gap.
For the Vegas still, but not
Yes.
in total though, right?
Well, every year they did it.
I have the answer. I have a vest that was for the OGs, and it says 2013. So I signed up in 2013, which means it must have existed for like 3 or 4 years prior to that.
So about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
All right.
definitely. So I think what you were asking about, it was unrelated actually. It predates the MJ, but we were invited by this special friend to come to a tournament, and I was like, I'm a busy guy, I'm working, but one thing about this tournament caught my attention. It was the Playboy tournament
Shocker.
at the Trump golf course in Palos Verdes.
Is that a nice golf course?
Well, yeah, it's about as nice as it gets.
Like a Pebble Beach type?
Doesn't matter. You got a fucking playmate with you.
No,
You could be out there
I
golfing
agree.
on fucking ice.
No. I agree. I'm just curious because I've heard mixed reviews about Trump golf courses.
Well, I think you got the first part right. And the nice thing about this golf course, it'll probably be one of the assets that he can hold on to.
Okay.
Anyhow, all right, we're not going to.
Literally.
So anyways, I show up to this golf tournament, and it was top-notch event. And what I mean by that is every single hole had a couple of playmates as the hosts. So that was cool. One in particular, it was like a par 5, and they had this beautiful young lady in like full stilettos, and her job was to utilize every golfer's driver and hit the ball farther than them. And she legit did in her high heels with everybody else. They had a fixer in the mix.
No.
Dude. It was the sexiest thing I ever. And now, by the way, 15 years later, I don't know if you watch social media, but like women in golf, super.
I was just going to
sexy.
say that. Like,
Super sexy.
100%.
I've been married and divorced, no kids. My next deal, like if there's a girl that can golf,
Oh,
done deal. And you're wearing the get up and
you get up where the butt just peaks every swing.
Little
It's just
skirt.
like a hello.
Little
Yep.
golf skirt.
Little
Yep.
golf skirt.
That whole thing right there.
Mhm.
Like I literally am like on one knee, like marry me now.
Shout out to Paige.
Sporadic.
There we are, baby. See,
I
we have
love
the same
her.
page.
Slice all day. Doesn't matter.
So shortly following that, we had one of the life altering invitations, and that was to go to the actual Playboy Mansion, right? And that now it's gone. It's closed.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
I
history.
didn't know that.
It's history.
I think they sold it. Didn't
Is
it
the
get
magazine
sold
done too?
Well, Hugh died,
Right.
and then
His son ruined it.
Yeah. And no, they have probably magazine would be dead, right? Because it's probably just a website now, I would imagine. Anyhow, I had the honor, and it was exactly what you would imagine. You get a private invite. They don't like give you an address or anything. You meet in a garage, like the fifth basement floor of a garage, within like a 3-mile radius of the Playboy Mansion,
They bus you in.
and they bus you in, dude.
Oh yeah.
This is all through Scott Dad.
This
Yeah.
is through Scott Dad. Yeah. So he's an old friend of ours, and when I say old, I just mean like an age. And
Which, bringing up earlier, that was when you weren't recording, and you asked how we all met.
Yeah.
in California.
Was through Scott.
It was
That's
through him.
exactly true.
So he was when I was at the boat dealership, he was our marketing guy,
Mhm.
and he had this big suite for a concert, and he put the boat guys together with the mortgage guys. So Joe, Vern, and myself here, we're all in this big suite, and all got to know each other, and it's been uphill since then.
yeah, so, and
That's where it all came from. Like Scott Dad, there's always a crazy marketing guy in the mix.
shout out to Driven Marketing, the
Oh.
West Coast one, not the East Coast one. Anyhow,
Which is probably dead.
yeah. So
If any of them owe you money, you're fucked.
Payback's a bitch. Anyhow, but through Scott, he had somehow secured a relationship with Playboy, and in fact, we worked one of the boat shows where we had a Playboy booth, and it was my job to work in the freaking Playboy booth. Playboy sent us, like, at the time it was like a 370Z with like suicide doors and a Ferrari and they put the Playboy logos all over it, gave us all these Playmates, and it was like some
Poor you.
yeah, it was like some matchup between the Yacht and the Playboy. And
Were any of them like well known?
well, curious that you asked. That was the first time I met Barry Bonds.
Oh, okay.
Barry Bonds strolled into the booth, and the first thing I thought is the same thing I thought when I met Tito Ortiz.
Roided out.
No,
No, pre-roid.
these guys are tiny. Well, it was after roids for Barry, and
So
probably
retired Barry.
right, yeah,
Okay.
retired Barry, and he was like small, and I grew up in Canada, like I mean, of course, I'm a Blue Jays fan, but I watched Barry Bonds. He was a freaking legend. He was larger than life.
Oh yeah.
And so now I'm standing next to him, kind of looking, down. The Playmates, ate it up. But however, so it was a wonderful event there. We pardon me. That night, I got excited. This is all my fault. Sorry, Scott Dad. I'm going to tell the truth right now for the first time. So we had the honor of driving those cars out of there, right?
Okay.
And so I was driving the 370Z with suicide doors with a giant Playboy bunny on the hood.
Pink.
Convertible. No, blue. It was
Blue.
blue. But we had to stop and get gas because we didn't want to drop it back off unloaded. And in fact, we were just dropping at another event. Huge people were going to come pick up the cars and away you go. And we stopped for gas. And I'm kind of fidgeting with the suicide door. I can't quite figure it out. And so I dent the car, dude.
Oh.
I dented the fucking car. Anyhow, so that was cool. And regardless of that, we actually did get invited to that Playboy Mansion. And so everything that they say is true is completely true.
So the water area what was that called?
The Grotto.
The Grotto. I heard there's some
I have pictures. And so
on your phone right now, or on your BlackBerry from 1985.
It's hidden in my Facebook. It's hidden in my Facebook account,
Okay.
so that nobody can access.
I need to see these.
But that was one of many. Like Scott Dad had, I remember 3 options. Because I remember I turned down 2 of them to stay and work.
Oh yeah,
Responsible guy.
Yeah.
I was the responsible one
dumbass.
here.
So freaking dumb, dude. Okay,
Did you guys actually get laid at the Dorado?
I was gonna say
No, it's
Grotto.
not about, dude. It's not about that. This is about Americana.
It's an
This
experience.
is about the opportunity to go.
it's
It's an
history.
experience, bro.
And it delivered, dude. So Joe, my producer here, was lucky enough to come along. And so we wanted to get our game tight. And so what Joe and I agreed upon is, hey, let's play a friendly little game, friendly bet
Called Viagra.
called Let's See Who Can Get the Most Pictures with the Most Playmates, and then we'll count it up at the end of the night. And so this is why we have so many pictures with so many Playmates, because it was a challenge. So it was our job. Now, while we're running around like idiots getting pictures of these Playmates, dude, the Grotto is real. There are, again, I don't want to judge, but these 2 girls were making out, right? And they're if I was going to be gay, I would have been one of them.
Why would you have to be gay?
Because they're both girls making out. And so, if I was going to be gay, I would be a girl making out with that other hot girl.
I don't know how it is in Canada, but that's normal here.
Well,
They're
2 things
not
come from
gay.
Canada.
Pam Anderson.
Whores and hockey players. What teams your mom play for? All right. Anyhow, yeah,
Dead
Pam
teams.
Anderson. A lot of amazing comedians.
Yeah. Jim Carrey.
Mike Myers.
Yeah, back to the seeing 2 girls make out
Mm.
together. That story comes from a guy who probably hasn't had a threesome. Maybe? Huh? Maybe?
Well, I've definitely used both hands. Does that count?
Not really.
No.
Nope.
You have to have
I
an-
did play for the Master Batters.
Still
not.
No,
Have to
you're
have
going,
insertion.
you're going the wrong direction.
Darn.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you're right.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. You should have worked my office. I should have went to the fucking Playboy Mansion.
I feel like
True, we would have made way more money.
Kevin would have 3 kids from bunnies.
Well,
Right?
And
he
I agree.
claims that my youngest is actually his, which
I-
now the older she gets, I think it probably is.
I don't claim that. He actually
wait,
brings
are
that
you
up.
still married or no?
She's an asshole. I'm remarried to a beautiful, amazing woman, and she's beautiful and amazing because she made these beautiful babies. And guess what, dude? If you ever, and I hope that you do, have a girl
First.
cat, or
Girl
whatever,
cat?
whatever you want. But if you have a girl, it changes you as a man.
Okay.
Right? Changes you as a man. So I'm a way better dude.
I can see that.
Way better.
But you're only
Not you, not change you, but in general, like
general.
as a guy, if you have a
Maybe
girl, like your whole world changes.
It does. It does.
Yeah,
Like-
I agree with that. Like my buddies from like up back home, like northern Minnesota, like they're like fucking manly men, right?
Yeah.
Like hey, like I fucking work. It's what I do. Like we drink beer, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
By the way, one of those guys. Sorry for interrupting. Are the dudes that taught me the tree joke.
Okay,
Minnesota.
respect that.
Oh,
Minnesota.
true.
But then they have girls, and then they're
remember
soft.
that. Yes.
And then they're softer than
Yep,
baby shit.
they have a daughter, and they're just like, oh my god, like you have no idea. Like I made this. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
like
So
she just
gay.
fucking she melts my world. Like they just go the hugest softie and like dude, you're the fucking big badass. Like you could fucking kick anyone's ass in the world. You could live in the mountains by
Yeah, you're
yourself
like a
forever.
You're like a fucking lumberjack.
Exactly. And you're like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. But I think that's awesome.
They're still manly men.
I
dude.
love it.
And they're
100
better.
I respect it.
And they're better
Yes.
because of it.
100%. Yes. And like, and you, Vern, you're like one of like my 3-4 buddies who all they wanted was like a son, and they've done nothing but just crank out daughters, right?
In fact, I bought a URL.
And you
for-
guys are crushing it. You're all doing so fucking good, and I love it.
Well, thank God for our wives.
I'm
right?
glad.
I'm
I'm
actually
an uncle.
so after I had my divorce, I went on a tear like most men do.
Yeah. If it slows down, jump on it.
So what I'm waiting for is the knock on the door with girl or boy saying like, "I think you're my dad."
Oh,
I'm waiting for that.
it's about to happen. That just occurred
Tonight?
No, well, pretty
Okay.
soon because
You got to keep moving.
No, that actually happened. So one of my very good friends, one of the first guys I ever met when I moved to California in 1998, he now lives in Canada, has been there for 10 years. He got a call from his brother, who's a realtor in Huntington Beach, who said he got a weird phone call and said, "I think your brother is the father of my daughter," right? Or no, pardon me. It was the daughter that called. The daughter called my buddy, who shall remain nameless, and said, "Hey, I think your brother is my dad." And he's like, "I think you're bananas. I'm sorry that I put this big billboard up with my phone number on it. I get all types, but I think you're fucking nuts." And she's like, "Well, I'm going to send you something to, check it out." And she had done like one of these like DNA tests. And so this is what I mean, dude. This is changing the freaking universe. And so he contacts his brother in Canada and says, "Dude, I think you may need to address this." All the daughter knew when it started is the guy's name. He drove a red truck, and it was 1997. They banged in Laguna Beach, and she found him.
Wow.
One night stand.
Isn't that
She
crazy?
found him. Now, lucky for her, he's an amazing individual. He's super successful. And like for her, she was like, dude, like she had ruled out any consideration that like she would ever have a dad ever or anything. She was
Right.
13 years old, I think, before her mom told her that the stepdad that had raised her was not her actual dad. Just after she divorced him, which sent her on this like 10-year mission to find out who her real dad was. Enter like, whatever that DNA, the
23 and
Mhm.
whatever.
and
Just gonna throw in there. Speaking of 23andMe, the company that runs that is used by
BlackRock.
no, they make sure all that shit works through leak testing company local.
we
Just
know
saying.
those guys. There we go. Sponsorship dollars. We're getting those sponsorship dollars. Everything
Plug.
we say.
Let's grow
Plug.
it.
All right, back to you.
So my friend in Canada, same thing with caution was like, like that, like those, I did own a red truck. I did in Laguna Beach in 1997. That did happen. And she has evidence. So he submitted his DNA, and it worked out that it was his daughter, dude. And she's doing wonderful, right? So she was raised, I guess, by a good stepdad and a good mom. She's like teaching special, needs kids.
So do they have a relationship though?
Now they do, dude.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
they
That's
talk
cool.
all the time. They're best friends and everything. And they didn't meet until she was 23.
See, I feel like the
I gotta-
girls. Hold on, I feel like the girls that would potentially have my kids are the ones that'd be like, well, Brittany's 8 years old now, So you owe 8 years of child support.
Yeah,
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Did she do that? Did she want?
Well, she was already 23, so like those days of child support done, dude. I mean, like,
So he got it later in life.
yeah, and he's already a millionaire. I mean, he's doing amazing, and so in fact, he felt weird about flying her to Canada with her husband to meet for the first time. And so he flew everybody to Mexico. So it was like this mutual, comfortable,
Neutral ground.
Offsite. Yeah.
Yep. So if I'm a girl and I'm looking for my dad, this would have been the dad that I would have wanted to find.
So she didn't do.
I am not that person.
No, I know. They'd find you and they'd be like, crap. Let's keep looking.
I would have to, like, honestly, I would say, okay,
You're a great guy.
pull your phone out, show me what your mom looks like. And then they would show me, and then I would say, your mom used to go to the fucking Royal all the time, which is a bar that's closed. I was like, this is probably, like, your chance of just went up dramatically.
Could be accurate.
What do we need to do? And they're like, well, let's do paternity. And I was like, okay. And then the 8 years or it'd be like $100,000 in child support.
Awesome bar name drop, the Royal.
They're closed now, so I can do that.
No longer in existence.
That was a fucking great place.
Should have stayed open. Neil, if you're listening to this,
I'm actually, one of our goals is to get one of them on here.
I could. Neil, I tried to get him to my wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually knew him.
Yeah.
Kevin
like
actually
personally.
has a great idea for a bar here in Salt Lake.
Neil, if you're listening, we're gonna get you on. You're gonna come in on it.
We're gonna call it the Swear Bar.
The swear bar.
Yes. Yeah. New topic. Yeah. Swear bar.
What about? Let's hear it.
All right, so may I? One of the first times I came out here to Salt Lake, and I had a luxury tour of the new business that Kevin's participating in, and we walked past the front, and there's like no receptionist or anything, right? And I'm like, what's up? But there's this like tip jar. I'm like, what's this? He's like, that's our HR department. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, anytime anybody swears, you have to go, or anybody does anything bad, you have to donate to the swear jar on the front desk. So we thought it'd be a great idea, dude. Kind of like Dick's Last Resort, right? Like, or those
But
ones
better.
where everybody's mean to you.
Yeah.
You just go there. You can fucking cuss whatever you want, but we're going to make this giant jar behind the bar. And people are going to be hucking dollars in there, like they're at the restaurant with the tall poles in Mexico, that one. And they're going to be hucking them like, fire into the swear jar.
I think that's a great idea.
Tax free.
Yeah. Swear jar.
Tax free is a donation.
Yep. And that whole jar just fills up with cash.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give all that cash will to be divided up, and we'll give that to the employees.
No,
We're not going to keep it.
no, donate it to my podcast. Okay, so you didn't bone a Playboy.
I absolutely did not.
Did you
but,
try? Did you run game?
I mean, if you think about your competitions, first of all, the number of women to men in that type of situation is unreal, right? It's
Like
like
a 3 to
1. Yeah,
Okay.
like 4 to 1. I'll show you in the pictures.
Okay.
So that part's amazing. But the other thing you quickly realize is I don't know how I got invited, right? And why
Because I gave
I'm
up my
there.
seat. I gave up
Because-
my seat. So shithead here.
Yeah.
Take mine. Just saying.
So my competition at the Playboy Mansion on a Saturday night
Was Barry Bonds?
was Barry Bonds. Post steroids.
Imagine if it was Daryl Strawberry pre going to rehab.
Dude, I mean, I don't think he'd be much. I think I'm probably funnier than him, so I could do that. But I don't know. Yeah, it was more so just that these are shallow women that live in Hollywood for a reason, right? They're not looking for substance. They're looking for
Payday.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with being shallow. Just throwing it out there.
So at that time, I was well, I've always been shallow, but I was not rich, so it was a lot harder to.
Well, no, because that's why I want to interview an OnlyFans model, because I feel like that's the new, like the next frontier for regular people to just blow the fuck up.
It is, dude.
Yes.
It is. Like have you guys met the or seen the Fox 6 No Way guy?
No.
Okay, so he's a Canadian that all he's doing is.
My arm's in the air, just so you know.
Oh, you have seen him?
No, but no, I have OnlyFans. Like, I got something good.
No, this is a guy. He's from northeast Edmonton, Canada. He does little simple life hacks with tools in his garage. He's
Oh,
done
yeah, I know that dude.
Fox 6 No Way.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy has blown up. He's got like a shopping mall of merch up in Edmonton, like next to the West Edmonton Mall. He's got like I was at the Pomona drag races last week. He's standing there with a microphone. Fuck sakes, no way, talking about his life, and it's just magic what somebody can do with just simple.
So stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's rich.
He's rich.
Right, better.
Let's hear it.
So the
OnlyFans,
right? Okay. So a few months back, I was at a country concert out here with a bunch of my buddies at USANA
Country Fest.
and it wasn't that one. It was
Garth.
no, it was before, maybe in a year.
All right, go on.
Anyway,
You know, Charlie
Long story longer.
has a caddy with a Wayland license plate. Did you know that? He has a convertible Cadillac. It's like 85 feet long, and the license plate says Wayland. It has cow, hide interior, shag carpet, ready to roll. So
That's a
put it in perspective. This is a country boy, right?
oh for sure.
Oh, it has the horns, and it has the boss hog.
Even better.
true fact. So
I'll send you that
me and
picture.
my buddies were all leaving this concert, right? And we all Ubered there. And have you ever been to like a USANA concert? At the end, it's a shit show. There's thousands of people trying to get their car, blah blah blah. Like
Just like the one in
Ubers
Las
can't get
Vegas
in.
with the guy with the AR. Like, was that like
Total shit show.
Similar.
Way different.
No.
No.
To get out of that. Though.
Yeah, no. So one of the buddies with me, he's like, I have this. I know my buddy.
So,
Him and his girlfriend, like she runs this OnlyFans deal, and she's fucking making like $20,000 a month, cranking it on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no fucking way. He's like, dude, she fucking crushes it. Like they're in a fucking brand new Tesla. This is like you say, like that's sure. And like anyway, he's like, oh, I'll give him a call. And like they live close, and they show up and they pick us up, and this big huge shit show. So there's a smoking hot blonde sitting in the passenger seat in the front.
is she the model?
She's not a model. She's just doing OnlyFans, and she's bringing in like 20,000 a fucking month doing this. And like
That's the girl I want to interview.
they fuck, and like whoever's filming, like they don't show their face.
Yeah.
And that it goes out there, and she just makes shitloads of money on it. I couldn't fucking believe it.
So if I was going to date an OnlyFans model, not saying, I ever would, but if I was going to, I'd be more for like those like the foot models, that just do the feet stuff so that like,
Why? Why would you hold yourself back?
well, not because I'm into feet, but just because now they haven't shown,
'Cause they're not fucking.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. The goods aren't displayed.
Like a good Mormon girl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was one of my favorite of your podcasts. Actually, I think it was, a recent one, something about Mormon to normal or
Oh,
something.
that was the very first one we did,
Oh, was
which was Mormonism to normalism.
No, yes, that's the one. Right. Long story longer. I'm gonna reach out my buddy, try to get a hold of the guy through him to see if we can bring her on here to the show
I would love that.
There you go.
and just make her talk dirty, all of it. Give us the fucking details.
But I'm not. So if she's like not filming her face, then she's not going to promote her shit, which is fine. Because she doesn't want to be known that she's doing it.
We blur her face out. She sit on this couch naked.
So wait, she doesn't show her face on OnlyFans already?
That's what he was saying.
One of the yeah. When they film it, they take
cut it out.
Yeah, they just keep the camera below their faces.
No, but
I'd still watch that.
as long as she doesn't promote her own thing and just wants to talk about how it all started, which is what I really am looking for.
She can't do a plug.
Well, she can, but then people will see what her face looks like.
True.
Yeah, because she'd be talking about, hey, go to
But
OnlyFans.
she's gonna be sitting here like
Go
this.
to like big tits and burst.
So you blur this out, and like that camera right there is like.
I don't know. He's the
I don't
director.
know. Yeah, if the director says that's cool,
Well, no. So I told Lee, I said, worst case scenario, if this podcast shit doesn't work out, we're doing casting couch down in this fucking.
Ooh,
Right here.
wow, that does remind me of a story, but
so you're on the casting couch.
well, there was this one time, 20 years ago where it was like it was a good, money making opportunity. Now I wasn't involved, but these boys from Boston, we'll call them the Balls Brothers.
Oh, I know this. This is a good one.
The Balls
Oh,
Brothers.
you guys are gonna like this. This is a good one.
They actually Yeah, I think this would be fine. So their friend from Boston started exploited everything, like exploited whatever,
College
.com,
girls.
exploited whatever.
Okay.
So he was like, started that like at the beginning of the internet. Like he was one of the geniuses behind affiliate marketing on porn, right?
So he's either filthy rich or he's in prison.
He's filthy rich.
Okay.
Yeah, he's filthy rich. And so our mutual friend was not filthy rich and looking to make some bucks. He was also super, outgoing and funny. And he was actually short, which we all know what that means in porn, right?
Little hands, little dick.
Well, or anyhow. So so this actually happened one night, right? This is the dirty stuff now, right? So this actually happened one night, and he had put out an advertisement for amateur porn models to come show up, and we're just there for support at this point. Fancy hotel, Huntington Beach. She knocks on the door. He pushes us all out onto the patio with our beer. We're fine. He,
Bangs her out.
interviews her, and we watch it. Okay, so super awkward because I don't really enjoy watching my friends, interview girls. But he did come up with two of the best one-liners in porn history.
Here it comes. This is great.
So let's see.
Is this the dropping loads guy?
I think at this point, again, I was kind of like watching it, like this, but I think at this point she's maybe giving him a blowjob, and he looks down, puts his hands on his, like we're taking a pee at the urinal, no handy, and he goes, "Aha, I see you're no stranger to the dick."
Oh,
It's Ron Jeremy, legendary, right? All right, and then the very end part, we all know what the very end part consists of. He says, "Prepare yourself for the war paint."
This guy is a legend to us.
That actually happened.
is he still alive?
He is. What? But barely, right? Tell him.
We all tried to call him last night.
No, tell him about the sunroof. He has a sunroof problem.
Oh,
He has a sunroof problem.
So
I need to meet this guy.
in California, I like on KSL, you can buy whatever the fuck you want, right?
Oh,
So I find this limo. So it's a big 22-person limo. I buy it off Craigslist, not KSL. Sorry.
Okay.
KSL's here.
What year?
In California?
What year?
You have Craigslist.
What year was it?
91 Lincoln limo. It was
With
all
the
white.
boomerang.
Super
Remember the
straight
boomerang
shot.
on the back?
Yeah.
Had the boomerang on the back. The thing is awesome, right? So I buy it, bring it home. We're like, we got to take this thing everywhere we fucking go, right? It's got blood red leather interior seats, 2 moonroofs, right? So there's a moonroof
There was
way in the
crushed
front
velvet.
and a
there was
moonroof
cheetah
way in the
pillows.
back.
Oh yeah.
And there's probably 20 feet between both moonroofs, right? So the guy we're talking about, I'm gonna go ahead and say Jeff Balls.
Jeff Balls.
Jeff Balls was his
Jeff
name.
Balls. Shout out to Boston boys. What's up?
Boston boys, Jeff Balls. We're all running down the PCH in Newport with this. Joe, our producer here, is driving.
Wait, 1 second. Yeah. Wait 1 second. So he buys his limo and then quickly realizes, shit, we need a driver.
Yeah.
We need a driver.
So it turned into like, hey, who's the most sober who can drive the limo tonight? Kind of went with that. We had DOT
He had a
numbers
full
on
hawk.
it.
Remember his faux hawk? He had a full hawk at the time.
Wait,
Who's
hold
gonna-
on. You have to have a DOT to drive a limo?
No, it came with it. If you're going to go into an airport to pick people up in a
okay.
limo, you have to have a DOT number.
Okay.
So it came with it. We left the sticker on there. Who's going to pull over a limo? Odds are there's probably like, the limo drivers in there. They're not fucked up. That's good. So we ran this thing all over the place.
Well, it's like driving around drunk with a fucking Uber sign.
Exactly. Yes.
Can't get caught.
Gray hole.
Genius.
100%. So we took it to concerts. We took it to fucking football games all over the place. One night we're coming home from some concert or something in Long Beach. We're running down the PCH. Jeff Bowles climbs out of the rear moonroof. We're doing like 60, 70 down the fucking road. He crawls his ass down the fucking roof. All of a sudden he drops in the front sunroof. We had no fucking idea. Like,
Wait, he
what the
fucking
fuck?
dieharded that shit?
He
Yes.
die-hearted.
Die-hearted.
Like let go to get to the back one?
He got out of the back one and crawled to the front one.
Oh, on
And
the
then dove
roof
in.
going
This-
60.
On the roof.
What I have to explain, this was not
Oh
the
my.
first time. This might have been his most legendary, but anytime he was drinking and he saw an open sunroof, he'll be like, I'll be right back. And out he goes. And he would surf.
He's that guy.
He would do it. Just
Yep.
like, yeah.
Okay,
that-
so this dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah, well, him and his brother dug a balls. Hey,
Jeff Balls and
see what's
Doug
at the
Balls.
Dug a balls.
Oh,
Dude, so these guys finally, like, they let's just say, I'll just fucking say it. They wore out their fucking welcome in California and they went back to Boston. So now a few years later, right? I don't remember. I was out of town or whatever. It was Joe and my condo downtown Huntington Beach. And I come home one night and my girlfriend, now my wife at the time, she's like in bed and she wakes me up and she's like, hey, there's somebody in the house. I'm like, well, it's Joe, right? You just come home. She's like, no, Joe's out of town. There's somebody in our house. And so I come out of the bedroom and I look in, I'm looking around and I look in the kitchen.
Jeff Balls naked on the kitchen table.
No, it was Doug Balls. It was Doug Balls. And he's just got his head in my fridge. And I'm on the third story. Those idiots had scaled up onto my balcony, broken into my house, not to steal shit, just to get a beer. And I hadn't seen them in so long. I was so excited to see them. I couldn't be mad. I'm like, dudes. And I hugged them out for breaking into my house.
Oh, man.
They're pretty awesome.
Yes. Good guys. We jumped out of perfectly good airplanes with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lots of times.
You guys live a really exciting life.
We've done a lot of really dumb shit.
Lots of dumb shit.
Yep. Jumping out of perfectly good airplanes.
See what else.
Dumb boat shit.
See what else.
Other country shit.
Other countries are the best, dude. Just the way that we explore is different than the average traveler.
Oh,
We're just trying to set the bar for these young kids who are growing up just playing fucking video games, being stupid. They should be out there fucking drinking beer and road tripping. Steal your fucking parents' car. Get on a gravel road. Go drive around and drink beer.
if I could go,
Try to nail your high school sweetheart. That's what you fucking do.
if I could go back, what I would have done would be, so the first car I had was a 91 Celica. Would never have gotten it.
Good start.
But no, great car. But I never would have got it. What I would wanted was like a Volkswagen van.
Yes.
Then graduate high school, dump the girlfriend who became the future ex-wife, and traveled around the U.S.
Yep.
Amen, dude. Well, so Kevin, he's a super charitable guy, dude. And he doesn't do it like I want thanks and I want to be, recognition. And I didn't really truly understand that until we got a wrong number phone call one night.
Oh my God.
How did that work?
So
Little Hill
awesome.
Green? Okay, so
Little Hill Green.
Okay, yeah. So we had a mutual friend that we'd lost touch with. We both had his number in our phone. And we were, having a good drink one night. We're like, hey, dude, let's call Hill Green, see how he's doing.
He
Well,
lives in New York. It was hard to get a hold of him. Time.
wrong number. What happens next?
Wrong number. So he must have changed phone numbers, obviously. He got his new number. His old number gets, dedicated to someone else. So this random kid answers. And he just got a new cell phone. This is a new number.
So
Santa
awesome.
Barbara. Santa Barbara going to college. Freshman.
How'd the conversation go? Can you tell us a little bit how that
Freshman.
conversation initiated? Like, hey, dude, no, sorry, it's the wrong number. Hey, sorry. Like, how did he even that? Like,
Right. Who are you? He's like, well, I'm so-and-so. And like, yeah, I'm Santa Barbara. I'm going to college.
my first year of college.
Just getting in there, right? So that piqued our interest. So now we're like, well, all right. Well, maybe we can take this little guy under our wing.
Yeah, tell us more, right?
Full on stranger.
What kind of bar?
have
You're
no
at a
clue.
party right now in Santa Barbara at a college party. Tell us about that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude.
We're on the phone with this guy for an hour.
Yeah. Right, dude, you are in fucking
Wrong phone number.
premium epic life mode right now.
Right.
Like, do you have any idea how well you're doing? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, I just got to college. I'm like, I'm kind of a little shy kid. And I'm like, dude,
You just got two new uncles.
yes, that's it. I'm like, you have two new uncles. Like, we will support you 100%.
Whatever you need, you're the best.
Anything you need. Like, you have the world by the balls right now.
You had the gift of gab.
Get your ass in that party. Fucking show your shit. Like, you have the confidence. You're going to fucking run this world. You have 4 years ahead of you of fucking awesomeness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he call us the next morning?
Yes.
Thank
So
us for our advice.
we tell him all this shit, right? Like, all right, we'll probably never hear from him again. He's like, all right, thanks, guys. And we're like, dude, like, if you need help with school or books, like, we got you. Like, we're your fucking awesome uncles. We're going to make sure you
Uncle Kevin paid for ended up.
you
paying
are
for
awesome,
college.
right? So he's like, all right, sounds good. The next day, we get a text message or a phone call from him. And he's like, hey,
That was
guys,
the best.
dude, I woke up this morning in the back of my truck. There's a fucking naked chick laying next to me. Dude, I'm on the beach.
Totally true.
Oh my God, life is so awesome.
This is totally true.
So like now we're hooked. We're like,
Oh yeah.
We want
we're like,
more.
bro,
want
we
way more.
fucking, dude, you are the fucking man. Like, oh my God, okay, we got you. You need help with, like, should we pay your rent? What you got? Like, dude, keep it up. We're going to live through you. It was so fucking awesome.
It lasted for years.
They did.
And you paid for his college?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Indirectly.
we
didn't know
helped
it
him a
was
little
us.
bit here and there, a little shit, like what he needed. But the best part was just like every couple of weeks we get that phone call from him or a text message
Yeah.
of how awesome his life was.
Yeah, he said, I mean,
Like,
if he knew who we were and where we were, he would have definitely sent us Christmas cards.
right?
Oh.
We're like, bro, you are like our little guy.
Yeah.
Like you are so awesome. You are crushing life and you're like living the dream through us. Like,
And what's awesome is the
Look at
guy
that.
that we were originally trying to call is also an awesome dude, but we couldn't get a hold of him, so we just took this
we
one.
just moved on.
Oh.
So
Even better.
the first guy,
He replaced them.
his last name was Hillgreen.
Yeah.
So like, wow, no, this other
In
guy,
my phone, he's Little Hillgreen.
Little Hillgreen.
Let's call him. Can
Yeah.
we call him?
Dude,
Let's call him right now.
Yeah, dude, come on.
See if
call him
he'll
right now.
answer, and then
Oh,
I do got to wrap
yes.
this up.
All right, yeah, let's go. This would be a great way to end this. Actually, let's see, Little.
Man, it was so cool. It was like the mentor of this little kid, and he like getting like his fulfill of like pussy and
Oh, yeah.
booze and like,
We were just providing
this-
some life coaching as
Yeah.
well,
and he's in Santa Barbara. You know, I told him
in
like,
an objective fashion.
like, dude, you have the greatest college little area around you. Like, that's awesome.
Fuck.
Don't tell me we lost him. Oh, here, we got one more try.
We're gonna have to fly out to Santa Barbara.
I have to go find him.
If you're hearing this,
I haven't
Little
talked to him
Hillgreen,
in 6 or 7 years.
Just get him on Facebook. I'm sure he's on there.
I'm
We
not on
never knew his
Facebook.
name.
I'm not on social media. Are you?
We never knew his name.
Do you run social media?
I have to for what we're doing.
We never knew his name, dude. We always called him Little Hillgreen. We only talked to him really drunk late at night, and
So-
we never met him in person.
I'll end it on this. If a 23-year-old could find her dad in Canada, we could find this
Amen,
dude.
You know what we call that? The red thread.
Love it.
The red thread.
What a pleasure, man. Thank you so
course.
very much.
Thank you for coming on.
We
It's super
appreciate this so
therapeutic.
much.
I would
So
like
much
to
fun.
apologize to all the midgets, the gays, the lesbians, and everybody else that we've offended tonight. We love you all.
That's the triplets for the triplets apology.
I'd like to
And-
apologize to, well, actually,
That was
it's
it.
Canadian. I'd say sorry all the time.
Yeah.
I will not apologize to anyone.
That's right, buddy. You get it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'm not apologizing for everything I said. I'm going to apologize for what my Canadian buddy said. Other than that, doing good, crushing it,
Crushing
Great.
it.
We'll
Okay.
be back. We're
For
coming
sure.
back.
Fucking therapeutic, man.
For
This
sure.
is so nice.
It's awesome, huh?
Fuck yes,
Okay.
100%.
Definitely come back. You guys, anytime. We'll get Joe on. We'll pop his cherry.
Oh, Joe's
A little bit of us in you.
I was worried, dude. You left, and I
Fucking
thought we were
in
gonna
you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
get a little bit of us in Joe.
Bite the microphone.